All right, what's up, good people of Earth? I am back on the planet again with the podcast Shelf Space. I am your host, Almond Brown. My rocket ship just touched down a little while ago, so apologize for not starting at 8. Uh, I'm on my own planet's time, but we good. But Lay, look, y'all been checking us out for a couple weeks now. Y'all know the show. Y'all know the subjects we tackle, and we love the input. What's up, Shimmy Shim? I see you checking in. Thank you for watching. So we, you're starting to get to know us. I'm your host, Almond Brown. I'm gonna let my co-host introduce himself. Go right ahead.
Welcome, people, once again. We're back at it on the most popular podcast on the face of this flipping earth, including other planetary dominions that are beyond the eye. I am Headache Stub Mitchell, one third of this mighty thing that we are doing. Um, Hopefully, that we will be able to bring you some good content, bring you something to question, some answers to some of your questions, and give you all something to take back out into the world and discuss amongst you all.
Absolutely. And our third host, Mr. Wild Wild West, he has been working hard lately, y'all. So that's why you have been missing him, but he's still active part of the show, and he'll be joining us in the following weeks to talk about some of the events that he's been putting on here in the city. He's been doing a lot of parties, engagements, as well as working. So we can't wait to have him back on. So let's jump into it, man. It's been a week since we've touched bases with each other. We met with y'all here on the podcast. A lot of things going on. I know today we're going to talk about, Serena Williams. Is she the goat of goats? She's announced that she's retiring after this Opens tournament that she's in now, and we a lot of you like to hear you say give people their flowers, while they're still here and still able to appreciate their greatness. And she's been doing it for a long time, and at a high level, and probably not talked about enough. But Serena may be the greatest athlete that we've seen, of any sport, really. The way she's dominated. We're also going to talk about something that Toxic Avenger is going to jump on and kind of drive for us. But we've read some articles where women have been, or some women in the workplace, within relationships, have a little tendency to tear each other down. First of all, is that a truth? Is that a myth? I've talked to some of our female watchers, that have said that they not necessarily have experienced themselves, but they have heard it discussed, heard it talked about. Is it a personality thing, or is it a way, maybe some women in certain industries are pushed to think? So that's a topic we're going to jump into. And then in the mental health awareness part of the show, where we like to talk about mental health and how it engages in relationships, I'm going to take a little lighthearted topic this week and talk about 15 things that men do that women hate. And so wait till we drop that list on you. You'll really enjoy that. So that's what's coming up. So this past week, Headache, what have you been up to?
My schedule has changed. We've lost a gentleman at work. Um, so now I am being asked to step in and fill in his half of the shift, as well as my whole entire thing. Didn't get to do any reading because of my shift change. I am still actively searching for a show to watch, outside of going back and rewatching The Wire. Um, what else have I had going on? Pretty much been it. No music. Oh, that's what it is. That Danger Mouse and Black Thought that no one is talking about.
Right.
I got to get into that one as well too.
Okay.
So
All right.
that one will be going this trip around this week. But that's what I was supposed to have been doing, was checking that one out, and I did not make time for it. And I do apologize to Black Thought and to Danger Mouse for that one.
There. Do you think that's an odd combo though?
No,
You don't?
no,
Okay. All
especially
right.
looking at what you did with Doom. So I mean, if you could do something with Doom and pull it off and it be a certifiable classic,
Right.
no.
Okay. Interesting to hear your thoughts on that. I think for me, for the past week, just been like you said, been working, um, reading a little bit. Some of the books that we've mentioned, and you guys really, have really inspired me to read a little more. So definitely doing that. Hello, Renita. Thank you for joining. So we're doing that. Been watching um, Married at First Sight on Netflix. And man, oh boy. I mean I've seen it before, but that's season 10 and I think season 10 and season 11 both out on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, watched it. If you want to talk about, we kind of tease you about being the toxic Avenger. I think you can build a whole Justice League out of some of the people on this show. You've got
That's what I
some,
was gonna ask. I
yeah.
was gonna ask if that is something that you think that I would that I would survive in.
Hey, again, we've got some more people checking in, tuning in. So thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Drop your comments or your likes in there. Yeah, the Married at First Sight. I think a lot of people would find it interesting. So you've got these different reality shows on TV. These like just meet somebody and marry them. But this particular one, Married at First Sight, they do not even see each other until the day they walk down the aisle. They let the experts match them up, and then they find a match. They let you know, hey, we found a match, and they start planning the wedding. And the first time you see the person is when they're walking down the aisle or she's walking down the aisle, and so you go from there. And then you meet, you go on a little honeymoon, and then you come back from the honeymoon, you move in together. You- they move in together, and then they spend like 30 days trying to figure out if they're going to stay married or not. And so, yes, I think because we watch a lot of the same shows that we find humor in or find little points in that we sometimes exchange. A lot of those court shows and divorce shows and relationship shows. This is one that I think you would find some really interesting content on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No, the reason I'm giggling like a 12-year-old schoolgirl is because I'm seeing myself on there,
Hmm. Hmm.
and after that first week, we're like, say, look at man. Say, not say, look at man. My ever famous saying of when I start getting aggravated, say, look here, bro. I'm about to call your mama.
So yeah, I mean it is one of those kind of shows, man. It's I mean it's into its 11th season. So you could say over the time it's evolved. Now, I think every now and then they get somebody on there who is looking to build a social media profile. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just on there because what happens is people get on there, they start following you. And some people are just doing it for that. You can kind of point out sometimes people that are doing it for that. And then there's some people that are genuinely on there to try to find a good mate and make it work. And I mean you can imagine just meeting the person the day you married them and then having to navigate those relationships, those characteristics and values in the relationship. The experts try to match you up as best as possible. So a lot of times you'll find things that match or that I don't want to say are in common, but are sort of have common ground, and they try to. But a lot there's like this past one, I think maybe two or three ended up getting married, and I think only one stayed together. Like you can go and go back and look and see um, who stays together, and have babies and all that. And it, one cat got one cat got a tattoo, got a tattoo with his wife's initials on it, and I really thought they were gonna make it. I thought they were gonna make it. Oh man, I thought they was gonna. I don't know what he gonna do with that tattoo now, but yeah, they didn't. They ended up they got married and they ended up getting divorced. And I think they did it because they were such a good match on the show. It would have been just like I think the fans would have been disappointed had they not decided to get married. And that was if you watch season 11, it's this crazy cat named Bennett and Amelia, just really weird. But they were a good fit. I thought they didn't end up staying together. So that's what I've been watching this past week, man. Check it out if you get a chance.
Like I said, I'm picturing myself on there.
Oh, you would be good. You'd be good
And
for
that's
the
the
show.
thing is, people would think that I'm being animated for boosting my career or whatever. But if they allow me to be myself, I don't know.
Well, that's what they want, and you would be good for the show. I mean, some of the things that you probably would say to your first day wife, um, what is and isn't going to happen, and how things are going to supposed to be, and then you trying to, oh man,
But see, I would
I
be
don't want to
under
say
them.
fit in.
But I mean, I would think that somebody was trying to troll me by
Yeah,
my pre-show interview. Be like, yeah, we're gonna see if he's really like that in
yeah,
real life or not. And then they
right,
mess around and bring me something to go ahead and test that. That's the thing that's frightening to me is somebody trolling me like that to see if this is live or if it's Memorex.
yeah. Yeah, it's funny, and it's interesting to watch the different personalities. You can kind of see which ones. In my mind, I try to like in the beginning, like, okay, they're not going to make it, or they're going to make it. So interesting. Check it out if you can. So that's what I've been watching, but wanted to kind of get your thoughts on breaking. Well, not breaking news. It's already been announced, but a huge story in the sports world. Serena Williams is retiring. And if a lot of people, we followed her career, her and her sister, and her greatness has been on display many times. And when we're talking about athletes, greatest of all time athletes, now that she's announced her retiring, a lot of us have been reflecting on what her accomplishments, and we've celebrated them along the way. I think a lot of us have celebrated her greatness along the way. But is she at the Mount Rushmore? Is she or the first person you would put on Mount Rushmore of greatest athletes? Is she the goat of goats? There's a great article about her retiring by Vogue, and so any Serena fans that are watching, go and read that because it's really that's the interview that she did to talk about her announcing it, and there's a good mental health aspect to that too because she talks about struggling with dealing with knowing that it's coming and not wanting to call it retirement but really trying to call it a transition, or evolution, which I thought was a great word for her. But if you think about it, um, tennis has been her whole life. She came, but followed her sister's footsteps, and I remember when Venus dropped. She came out. She was, what, 14,
15,
um,
yeah.
15, yeah. So and Serena just followed her right into tennis, training along with her. You've seen that movie King Richard, um, which the reason I'm laughing is because the night that we watched King Richard was the night Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. That's why I just laugh when I
You
bring
talk
that up.
about dumb luck.
Yeah, yeah. We weren't watching the Oscars. We were actually watching King Richard. And then social media blew up. So that's a sidebar I don't want to go into right now, but that's what happened on that. But I thought the movie was really good. I didn't think Will Smith's character or portrayal was, it was okay, but I really thought the two girls who played Venus and Serena, and I should know their names. I apologize for that. I thought they did a great job, really displaying what they went through, what it looked like, for them to deal with it at such a young age, being pushed that hard. But look where Serena is now. Um, so is she the goat of goats? I mean, what are your thoughts? 23 Grand Slam titles.
She's in there. I will put her. I'm trying to see if I will put her top five or top three. I'm thinking more along the lines of top three. Um, because I mean, I'm looking at and the reason it's taking me a second or two.
Yeah,
When you actually see her career laid
right.
flat out on a timeline, I'm
Yeah,
looking at the Washington Post, and they have her rankings. Um,
yeah. You
and the
see
way
it.
they got it laid out, it's
You see
it's
it.
you can't f with this
That's right. You
on
you
any
see it.
level.
Yeah. So when we were getting ready for the show, we were talking about it. I was looking through that. You cannot um you cannot deny her greatness. And 23, let me see, what is it? Yeah, 23 Grand Slam titles, but she's been there 33 times. And they broke it down like her winning percentage was close to 70%. To me, and it's an individual sport. So you're it.
Nobody
You
to
have
blame.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, nobody, yeah, you're the reason you win, you're the reason you lose. Um so and then Renita chimed in before the Oscar slap. I was not a Will Smith fan, but he deserved that Oscar superb acting. Uh okay, okay. I'm not gonna argue with you. What was that? That was his first one, right? Right. And
Yes.
there's probably, I think he might have gotten it for some other ones. I think Jada once again rubbed the Oscar people the wrong way when she was like demanding he should win it for Concussion. And let me ask you this: have you seen Concussion?
Yeah.
Okay, I have polled a couple people if they've seen Concussion. I haven't seen Concussion. I haven't. 7 pounds was good.
7 pound. Yeah, 7 pound was
Seven
in there.
pounds was great. 7 pounds was a great movie. I Am Legend was good. He's done some good movies. The Ali movie was great. Speaking of greatest of all times, Serena's up there with Ali. Them two, up there. Ali, Serena, uh, Kareem, you know,
Tyson, early
uh,
Mike, Iron Mike. I won't say Mike Tyson, but Iron Mike.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. So, but yeah, but kind of back to Renita's comment about Will. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't do a great job in the movie. I think he really did do a good job bringing the father to life on the screen. But I really thought like who the really compelling watch to me was really Venus and then Serena, but that was compelling because of what they went through. The just yeah, as being that young in that environment with going into tennis, which was such a um, um, sport. It was not diverse, and they just really did a great job of showing that family unit and what it took for those girls, really um, inspiring each other to do well, to be great. So it's just an amazing story for both of them. And Serena, not to slight Venus because Venus was great too, but Serena just had that. I think Serena had that benefit of watching her sister. You
She was
know.
nice. That's the only thing you could say about Venus. Venus was nice,
Yep.
but Serena, she was it,
Hmm.
the real deal.
Okay. So, and Renita's comment: Imagine growing up in Compton, all the challenges she overcame. Absolutely. She is the goat. I'm putting her up there on Mount Rushmore. as the goat. Her, Ali. I want to put Tyson up there, but I'm not, because he. I don't want Mike to get mad because
Yeah,
you
you
know,
you might
but
want to you might want to tread lightly on this one.
Mike dominated for that span, and I mean, but was
Say it.
was no, I'm just
Say it.
saying. Okay, he dominated for that span, but was Mike truly a great boxer? Honestly, I know. Look at you. Look. Come on, man. Was it?
Raggy?
Was it? Was
Raggy?
he? Yeah. Was it? Was it? He was a great boxer. Was it? Because did you watch? Okay. All right. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Evander Holyfield. Is he a good, I don't want to. I don't even want to have to say was he a great boxer. He's a great boxer, good boxer. Evander Holyfield, skill wise, boxing, very good, solid technique, solid. How many times did he beat Mike? Didn't he beat him twice? Because I think the
Keep
second
going. Keep
time,
going. Keep
I
going.
think the second time Mike bit
You
his
going
ear off.
somewhere. And I want to get in the car with you. I want to be able to sit comfortably in this
Well,
Uber ride while we taking this Uber ride. Let's go.
okay, all right. That's what I'm saying is when we talk about athletes like Serena and um and Ali and Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem. There was a skill set. They weren't just dominant just because they were super athletic, super strong, whatever. They actually had true skill sets. They could go up against another competitor who may have been stronger than them, but yet still come out ahead because they could outthink them, outmaneuver. You know, they could really they can change their game around, to find the weakness and exploit their weakness. I just think Mike was just go straight at him, keep his head down, get close enough, and then unleash, that uppercut or that cross and catch him. And he punched so hard that he didn't have to be really good skill wise. He didn't have look. That the longer matches went on, the weaker Mike got. That's all I'm saying. And when we're talking about Serena, and you want to put Tyson up there with him, I don't think it translates.
Jackie Joyner Kersey. That's whom it is you may be referring to, Renita. Cause I'm not even entertaining this, bro. You gonna seriously do that? The Iron Mike
I
Tyson.
know he was great to watch. He was fascinating. He was great to watch. But
Then you're gonna bring in skill,
yes,
technique.
yes,
The only person that you could question skill and technique in boxing would be Deontay Wilder.
I like Wilder. I like Wilder.
I love Wilder, but
Yeah, yep,
skill wise and technique, both of those are questionable. Oh,
yep,
my bad, Renee. I was thinking we were talking about since we were talking about Serena. That's why I brought up Jackie Joyner Kersey.
yeah.
I do apologize for that one. Um, but with Mike, you tuned in to Mike to see what he was going, not even what he was
Right,
gonna do, how long it was going to take.
right, right. He was fascinating to watch. And yes, Renita, you saying is great. Yeah, yeah. He was great. It just didn't last as long, but I mean, maybe track
That
stars
ain't
don't.
his fault
Yeah,
though.
he's great though. I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to get off. I don't want to get off what you're saying about Mike because we're trying to compare. We're saying Serena is the goat of goats. You're trying to put Mike into that realm, into that.
I'm not trying to do nothing. I am.
Nah, you can't do that. You can't. You can't. And I respect him. I
No,
don't want
you
Mike.
don't.
I don't want Mike to come get me. Okay, but
No, you
I
don't.
respect him. But I'm just telling you the here is here is what here is what trainers would say about Mike. You go into the ring, okay, guard yourself, stay away from his uppercuts till about round 3 when he starts to get tired. Mike got beat by Buster freaking Douglas. And you never heard of Buster Douglas after that. What he got beat his very next match. He got beat by a bum. Come on, he got beat by Buster Douglas.
He didn't have stuff going on that followed him into the ring at that
He
time.
did, he did.
Okay,
But let
then.
me.
So
Okay,
so
okay. I'm
let's
glad
not
you
do
said
that
that.
now. Let's
I'm
not
glad
do
you
that.
said that. I'm
Boxing
glad you
is
said
not
that.
just a physical game; it's a
Right.
mental aspect as well
Okay.
too.
Okay. So you don't think Serena has stuff going on when she stepped into to the court? Serena was Serena was 8 weeks pregnant and won a title. Okay. And you don't think okay. Yeah. Yeah. And she was listen, she, mentally tough. This girl was playing a sport that was not known to have African American women be great in. She dealt with people talking about her hairstyle and the way she's built and the
She
way
built
she's
like a
looked.
man. Her
Yep, yep.
hair.
She dealt with
She's too
all of that.
black.
Yep.
She's this. She's that. I get all of that.
Right, right, right.
We
Dealt
all
with
have
all of
our.
that and still won. All Mike was dealing with was he married the wrong woman. Okay. And he couldn't get in there and handle Buster Douglas. You know what Mike did? Mike married the wrong woman. She had him all in a Pepsi commercial, whipping him with a towel, okay, taking his money.
Which is why I brought her into the mix. When you brought up, because you want to bring up your side of the story, but
Mm,
then you forget I get the rap too.
go ahead.
So, quite naturally, when you're dealing with a psychological aspect, such as her and his background, both of those were gonna clash, and that's where it happened. You see, it didn't happen afterwards.
No, 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 no. Be honest now. Mike was
Because
never he
that
was
loss
never
that he
really
took,
the same.
that one with Evander, that's Evander.
Yeah,
That wasn't
Vander's a
that
good
that
he's a
wasn't
better
no
boxer.
that wasn't psychological. That was Evander with
Right,
I'm not scared of you. Yeah,
right.
you crazy, but you you still got to come in here and come get some of these.
Exactly. And Evander was a smarter boxer.
Of
He's smart.
course, he wasn't as skilled. I mean, he wasn't as skilled or as this, that, and the third as Mike. He outthought him. That's all
Which
that
is
was.
which made him a better boxer.
Of
Which
course.
means if Mike's getting beat by Evander and Buster Douglas, I can't put Mike. I can't say okay, getting we got beat twice back to back by Evander. Can't put him up there and then bit the dude zero off. I can't put him in up there in the greatest. Not like Serena. Serena's no, not like Serena. Now you want to compare Serena to somebody like Kobe? I can entertain that conversation. You want to? I think Serena and Ali, even though we could talk about some of Ali's losses, but the same type of environment that Serena came up in, Ali came up in a time of a lot of
Hostility.
hostility towards him. Like America, like people forget, America didn't like Ali in his prime. They didn't like him. They didn't like him. He was too confident, too brash. He talked too much. Go ahead.
Same thing they say about head. Same thing they say about here. You
Yeah.
talk too much. You're
Right.
too loud. You in our face with stuff all the time.
Right.
You
Right.
gotta be right. You
Yeah.
gotta prove you right. You don't win. You gotta overwin. All the rest of that. So I get it.
Right. They wanted Ali put in his place. That exactly. But then it wasn't until he became older in his year. Now all of a sudden America loves him and everything. So he was kind of sort of hated against in within his own sport. Same type of stuff I think Serena went through in hers that she became more dominant. Although she didn't really, come out there and say, "Oh, I'm gonna beat everybody here," but she was confident and the strength that it took for her to hold her head up in the locker room when people were talking about her and her sister's beads, talking about the way they looked. I mean, it was really, listen, I remember So I was working in I was working in retail. My love for shoes. I was working in a athletic shoe store, and I remember um, Venus had I think she was signed to Reebok. So Venus shoes were on the shelf, and she had her little picture on it, and it was just kind of picture on the bottom. No, it was kind of like people were getting introduced to her, but she was signed to. I hope I didn't get it wrong. She was signed to Reebok, and that was like she was like 15, like you said, and the word was spread. Word was spread. And so people would come in and, kind of look at the shoes. I'm talking about people that actually play tennis, would buy them and wear them. And then maybe a few months later, or might have been 6 months later, years, all of a sudden it's the sister. That at that time it was the sister. Same beads. She was signed to Puma, so these Puma shoes hit the shelf. It wasn't like people were running. They weren't Jordans. People weren't running out and buying them. But I just remember them trying to break into that. They didn't have Nike, behind them, and it was kind of like, were they really going to last? Was this just a fad or a flash in the pan? They were young, they were getting attention because they were black. To be honest, because they were black, but they had to go out and prove how good they were. There is a scene in King Richard where they're actually doing the deal for the endorsement, and I think it's with Nike. They're actually kind of going back and forth, and I think it's for Venus. If I can't remember right. Somebody might have seen it recently and can remember, but I think it was for Venus, and they were going back and forth about who's going to get a sponsorship and all of that. So, but they really had to prove themselves, all till I don't know when it stopped, but they carried that mentality, I think, all the way through their career, both girls, and
It don't
definitely the
ever
sister.
stop.
Yeah.
It never stops because we always recall when I was not your flavor of the week. I wasn't in your top 10.
Mm-mm.
To getting drafted, that I went undrafted, and now it's time for that max contract. And then now you want me to forget what I had to do to get this max contract, sir? Yeah. Hello, I'm talking to you. You
But
want us to forget. You want us to forget what it is that we had, the mountains we had to climb
right.
in order to get this max contract. So I understand that one as well too.
Yeah. I understand it. Um, and I really respect them. Um, okay, Serena signed with Puma first. Venus signed. uh, Yeah, no, that's what I right. Venus signed with Reebok. She was out first. Serena followed her and signed with Puma. So thank you, Miss Omaida. Thank you.
Look at her. Might mess around and be a shoe person up in here.
Right. But yeah, I really like the way that they carried themselves all through their career. There might have been a lot of things they thought and said off camera, off mic, but when they were in front of a mic, they didn't they never lost their confidence, but they also at the same time um never was like uh you know we're gonna put up a list of haters and we're gonna talk about you. Now that I'm on the top, now that I'm on top, they kept it classy. And even though it might have been some subtle shots here and there that they delivered, they never went after somebody once they made it to the top. They really kept it classy, which is another feather in her cap, of why she was such a great athlete and is gonna be one of the goat of goats.
Like I said, I put her up there. But as far as her being the upper echelon, the go to goats,
Mm-hmm.
she's in the conversation. I
She's in
would
the
do that.
conversation.
I cannot deny her from being a part of the conversation.
All right. Well, who else is in that arena with you? Who else
Jordan,
is Jordan? You
Jordan.
put Jordan up there. I can go with that.
Who else will be up there? Ali, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him.
Okay.
He would be there. Um, Mike is there. against your better judgment. Mike is there. Um, People will want me to say the little dude from Vegas, the one that don't box, just do the shoulder roll.
Oh, Mayweather.
Mayweather.
Yeah,
People will want me to put Mayweather in there, but I'm hating. I'm gonna
yeah.
admit it. I'm hating. Mayweather wouldn't be there.
Okay,
No matter if he was a million and one, he still wouldn't be there because I'm hating.
all right.
Um,
You putting Tom Brady in there?
I'm hating. I hate Tom
Uh,
flipping Brady.
right, right.
So
I'm not.
call me
I'm not a
whatever you want
fan
to
of
call
Brady.
me. At least I can admit it. I'm hating. Tom Brady is great. The Tom Brady show is even greater, but I'm hating. Um,
I think it's
Marino's a
hard.
goat.
It's hard to say Tom Brady is a goat, although it's hard to say that because in football it takes so many other parts for you to win.
But I mean, he
Um,
check off all the boxes though. I mean, he is a proven winner. The man came from number 99
yeah,
to
yeah,
become
right,
overall Mr. Everything. So
yeah,
that's why I mean I can honestly admit my hatred for the Tom Brady show
right.
does not take away from his greatness. Tom Brady has earned his goatness, but he has earned my hate as well too.
Okay, all right. So you got Brady. You hate on him, but
He's there, but I'm
you're not
hating.
going to argue that he's goat level.
Since you're gonna put it like that and you're gonna make me say it, Tom Brady's a goat.
Okay,
Hatred and all.
yeah.
He's a
I mean,
he's a
I
goat. He's on there.
I don't want to put him there, but yeah, I don't want to, but I can't deny what I've seen him do. Um, especially what he did to the Falcons in the Super Bowl. I can't deny it.
The,
I'm
the, re-
reluctantly, I'm gonna have
the,
to say he's the goat.
the reason I don't, since Renita want to jump all in this and she wants to capitalize and space and semicolons and all the rest of that with her proper grammar and stuff. Look at what the Dolphins did to him.
You know what? Hey,
Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna give you some
Thank
props
you.
there. The
Thank
Dolphins were
you.
always a thorn in their side. It wouldn't.
Now, Renita, put
It
that
was.
on your board.
Yeah,
Spell that correctly.
you're right, and I know you love them Dolphins, and I know I gave you some flack for them. I beat them up every chance I get, but I'm gonna tell you this: the Dolphins could come in there, 2-10, and be
And
going up
still
against.
have his number. All of them
You're
still
right.
have
I
his
don't know how
number.
they do it, but they got up for that game. I don't know how, but they would go in there and deliver the smackdown to Tom.
Exactly. So that's why he garners my hate.
Yeah, good, good, good. Look, we're gonna bring in our first female guest to the show. She is in the green room now. Um, I'm all excited. We're gonna bring her in, let her introduce herself because we got some topics that we wanted to get some female input on. And before we get off Serena, I'm gonna want her to make a little comment on that. But I'm gonna bring her in and introduce her to y'all and let her say hello. So entering studios now is Constance, my good friend Constance. How's the family doing?
Oh, they're
Oh, I
all
can't hear.
set.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, they are, and so it's just me able to hear me. Hi, Omaida.
She says hello. She says hello. Well, awesome. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I know you are a couple states over. You're over in Arizona, so you made time for us today. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh
All
yeah, no
right.
problem. I told my coworkers, and they got
Well, cool, cool. Well, look, before we get off Serena, she's retiring, and we were having a discussion a little earlier. Is she the goat of goats? Is she really, when history is all said and done and her career ends, we're putting her on that. We like to make these Mount Rushmores of sports figures, but are we really going to say that Serena is probably one of the greatest athletes that we have seen in any sport? and just with her accolades and all. So, any input that you have or reflection that you have on Serena, maybe she's influenced you on some things. But go ahead and give us your thoughts on that.
Pay respect where respect is due. Or male, female, whatever. She is many different levels. May act like they're visionaries. They kind of open up to everything. Voluptuous, black in areas. She sport. She did things for the culture.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good point. Such a good example really for everybody, I think, no matter what race you are, to somebody to break into a sport that typically didn't have room for you or didn't have space for you. You didn't look the part, you weren't shaped the part, you didn't talk the part, none of that.
No,
But went and blazed your own path to become the greatest in that sport. I mean, it should be a role model for anybody. So yeah, good point on that. All right. So Mr. Mitchell, now that we've got our female guest here, you
Is
know,
this the illest female in Nebraska?
so you brought up a topic last week that we wanted to touch on, and we really wanted to get some female input on it. But um and then the question came up, do women tear each other down, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in personal relationships with each other. You and that was, I mean, I don't know if it's something that really does happen a lot. Talking to some of the females that tune in, they said they've heard about it but they've never experienced it. But then also when you can watch social media or reality TV, we see it a lot in some of these housewives shows and some of these reality shows. I don't know if that's for the camera or that's real or that's just the Kardashian age, but there does seem to be sometimes some animosity, um, a push to to keep a woman in a certain box, by other women if she's making their advancements. And so I want you to take this topic, headache, and tell us what where you want to take it, and then I want Connie to kind of give her input on what she has experienced and talked about with some of her coworkers. So go ahead.
Okay, the history behind the question was sparked last week when we were talking about the WNBA, and is it really falling off? What brought to mind was when you look in that stands, predominantly you see a lot of males. You don't see a whole lot of females there. And to me, that's very disappointing. With a sport that's struggling to survive, that's on life support, why aren't more women supporting it, especially with this attack on Title IX, and women's sports? I see it often in music, especially when Queen Bee comes outside to play, then everybody is Team Bees. But then again, in hip hop, you got your Cardi B's versus your Nicki Minaj's and whatnot. So that's how the question came about. But it is a huge question to me. Do women support other women in all facets of life?
Oh, and I said yes. I've been down, tracked down by in businesses, and be that from my same culture, and I've also experienced family. Now, I tend to think about it a little bit. Is something that's done consciously
Right.
and really intentionally trying to, and there have been plenty of people that have. And I think when it comes to my family that do it, I actually me. to be malicious. That's how it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Check your audio on that. I can hear a little bit of breaking up in it, but I did hear what you said. One of the things I want to ask you about is like, I think when you said, is it done consciously? Um, that is something that would, I want to headache. I see you get ready to get. I mean, honestly, is it done consciously, or is it something that's kind of pressed upon girls at a young age to you where you have to compete, um where you have to do you feel like you have to compete, and when you have to compete it's more about visual? Am I tall enough? Am I thin enough? Is my hair long enough? Are my nails, that kind of thing? So when women see that kind of stuff visually on another woman, they're quick to say, why is she wearing that? Or who told her to do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more about that, yeah. So is it done consciously, or is it pressed in socially at a young age? That's the only thing I can think of where, because men aren't we're that way, but not that way. You know what I mean? But go ahead, headache.
For me personally, I don't think that women do it on a conscious level. I think it's more along the lines of conditioning. Um, but you already know where I'm going with this, where I don't blame women for nothing. We allow women to do whatever it is that they want to do. We do not correct their behaviors. So why would they think I am purposely or I am consciously going out to go sabotage another woman?
I think people.
I don't. I,
I think I do it wholeheartedly. Being conditioned that way as a female does any better. Conditioned to work like always been a target. Okay, where it be something that's too short, somebody else's opinion. Okay, and I can wear I can show an arm and somebody will have something to sweat, and somebody will. And I tested the theory because I was, and somebody will be the same person, but it's always no. I don't know if that happens with, but I, an article, mothers and daughters from the beginning, and my mother support, you know, and even at that, she also says you're supposed to do better than be on the same playing field as me. I want boy, girl, whatever. So for many other females, and I've seen it with friends where they are kind of torn down a little bit.
Mhm.
Chris, wouldn't that speak to limited resources as well? Is that women don't get a lot of opportunities, so you kind of turn it into dog eat dog, or what is it? It'll come back to me. But putting them
I
in a
got to get
position, put them in a position where there aren't really a whole lot of viable resources, so you not really going for the best of the best. Is the strongest of the strong. Who's ever going that's going to last to the last round? That's going to make it to the boss round.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I think I do see where your point is going with that. That when you say limited resources or limited positions or limited opportunities, there is some of that. Um, but kind of back to the Serena conversation that we were having, do we need more women who feel like they can create their own space? They can create their own path. And maybe there are some that don't, um, they get, and Renita called them pick me's. You know, that's a funny one. But maybe there's just some women that feel like, okay, here's an opportunity or a position for me. I want to be this one in this, whether it's in this group or in this work environment or whatever. And so I've got to go after it, and I've got to knock down anyone who's in my way to get there. So almost like you're saying, like with men, how we compete against each other, but um, maybe it just manifests itself in a different way in women, to where they feel like some need to feel like they need to tear somebody down in order to elevate themselves.
Okay, okay. So
Like these reality housewives shows,
is there not a difference between being competitive and being catty?
Yes, there is a difference.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. Because I think in competitive, and kind of, you would know, you've been in competitions before, but I think being competitive, when say you don't get the top spot, you can still congratulate that other person who placed ahead of you, because you understand the work and dedication that it took, for them to get there. And you don't feel like they took the only spot. There will be an opportunity for me. That's a different
Yep.
mindset than the cattiness. Yeah. Go ahead, Connie.
That one, you could still have to tear anybody down. Many of the situations come into a space. That space, you've done nothing. Go ahead and learn and do better in that space. Something off, but in the behaviors and how they go and things like that, and already tell, right, you know, had some situation. This wasn't even with a dude, wholehearted, the dude, and things like it's so often start to think what, and things like that. Even deeper, if you really want to break anything that has happened, any younger and things like that, then place um, pulls you back there, you know, or treated.
Hmm. Hmm. Good point. Good point. I think your mic is still staticky a little bit, so if you can make an adjustment on that, that will help.
I don't
But we heard that though.
like it. I don't know
But
what to.
you're all right. You're all right. Well, I heard what you said. I did. And go ahead, headache. I think you got something.
Reflex biting. That's the word. That's the terminology I was looking for. Reflex biting is when you stick rats in a box, and then you give them a bunch of male rats into a box. You put only one female rat, and then you only put a certain amount of food and water inside of that box as well too. And then you watch them tear each other apart. Same thing that we do with women, that we put them pit them against one another. We put them in positions where there are only limited spots. We make them feel like that there will never be another spot again.
Yeah.
So it's either kill or be killed, eat or be eat or get eaten.
Mm.
So that's why I don't blame women for the measures that they use in order to make it to the top. We praise men for sleeping their way to the top, or utilizing women for their personal gain, but then we villainize women when they do the same exact thing.
Yo, you're
Comment to
right.
men creating competition.
Right.
That's 100. You don't want to hear it.
uh, I don't look. I don't want to take the blame for that. I don't- you
I'm not saying
know, we create the
it's you.
competition between women. I don't even. I don't want my sex to take the blame for that. I mean, I think I know what you're saying. I agree to somewhat to Renita's point. I think at a young age, whether it's the mothers or what you see on TV, but some subliminal messages from advertising are sort of delivered to where, okay, here is how I elevate myself. Here's how I separate myself from the pack. I have to be, this height, this weight, this color, whatever it may be, and it may come from just advertising. Which is why I love to see ads now that come out with just these different looking women or men or people, just with like I really feel like sometimes, people hate this woke culture that is we're going into, but there's some good things where we can start to celebrate different molds than what we used to just always have to have this one way and you have to be this one way. Yeah, the reality housewife shows are funny to watch, but you a lot of times see them go back into that cattiness, that destructiveness, the things that we saw maybe in high school of where you tear somebody down in order to separate her from another person that you want to be close with. Just some of those types of things that happen in the workspace or happen in relationships with women that women use as a tool.
The reason I'm shaking my head is because of her last statement. As a man, I do not necessarily agree that women are out here bleaching their skins, getting Brazilian butt lifts to attract a man because of colorism, featureism, and so much more. From the outside looking in, as a man looking at women that do these things, that's not for us, dear. That's for you all. You all want to go back and make somebody feel bad because their breasts are not as large as yours, their rump is not as full as yours, their hips are not as big as yours. So I wouldn't necessarily agree that that's what that we're doing that to get a man.
Ooh, okay. Go ahead, Connie. I think yeah, I think she chomping at the bit to take this one on.
Real talk, I said it women and men. It's not one side on that part is how women that wanted their butt, plenty of women that wanted to and things like that. Women that tore me down, and then and now the boasting about the gym and everything told me, and you degrade down on me that I was too small in competition weight at that.
Mm,
It's supposed to be cute in
wow.
competition wage, okay? It's lifestyle, but that are impressionable, and that's why in all shapes and forms. That's why Venus body, why it was so little girls needed to see themselves and things like that.
Mm.
I'm gonna be honest. We just had a discussion with my son, and I'm the one family, and I looked at him, yo, why he looks, and he beat me. It's okay. My 10-year-old has been, but he's on what was supposed to be, still hurt.
Oh, good, a good point, Connie. And for those who don't know, Connie's. When I say she's competed, she's competed. She's done body shaping, so she's gone through training and diets and competition level to where and not the typical. She's. I don't want to say you're short, but I'm sure you've heard people say you're short. So she's not the typical person you would think of when you think of body shaping. She's not really tall, but she got into it to that sport, that competition, and went through the trials and tribulations, dedication of training to be able to compete and sort of break that mold of what you know body shaping women are supposed to look like, and done well in it. So she's really speaking from a place of experience when she's talking about how you know um, you can be torn down by women in the same room, for just because they don't like the fact that you're shaking things up and breaking those molds. Go ahead, headache.
Where your energy is disturbing theirs.
Yeah.
Your
Right?
confidence is too much for them. Um,
100.
your level of expectations of yourself is far greater. It surpasses theirs. All of those things, they shake average women. And those are the things, the reasons why I attack average women and why I thoroughly dislike average women, because you're choosing the easy and the safe route to go over there and be with them, but then you want to proclaim that you are some kind of unicorn, and sweetheart, you're not. You don't have what it takes to be a unicorn, and a lot of women, they don't. And that is shaking within itself. That will shake the foundation of a lot of women if they honestly looked at themselves and see how common, how typical that they are.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Um,
I like Renita and her all black men rap about his red bone, light skin with the big booty and all the rest of that. What else we gonna talk about? What
I'm
else?
explaining.
is that all that's rapped about, or is that just what gets pushed to the top? You know.
Looking at my chest, I can say no, it is not. And of course, no one knows who this is on my shirt, but it is. If we're gonna talk about go to goats that does not get her flowers from common man, but gets them from the likes of Nas and Kendrick Lamar, her peers, it's Rhapsody.
Okay. All right. But
Rhapsody makes no one's top five,
I was gonna
and
say,
she can out rap anybody's top five completely.
right. But is she breaking through the the stuff that gets pushed to the top? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So we still have to battle that image, that mindset, and we as men have to get involved too to help break it up. Renita mentioned we're the ones that create the competition, so we need to actually, engage in some way in helping to tear down some of those expectations. You know, I mean, I don't. I'm just trying to think out of the box here, but try to help break down those expectations. Go ahead, Connie.
Sometimes it's just, you just introduce the names. And sometimes that helps. Any better, but I'm just gonna shout it out. She let me know my stuff is upstairs.
Yeah, yeah. So we all play a part in it, um, and I don't think men. We've heard this before. Men are visual, so there are things about us that's not going to change. We're just that way. But I think because we are human, we've got the we talk about this on the show, the dignity of choice and the dignity of reshaping and rethinking rather than reacting. We can help level the playing field where it rolls all the way back to your conversation about the WNBA and the strike against it. Women aren't supporting the WNBA. Okay, well, men step up, step up. And I love what Kobe was doing before he passed. He got really, really involved in helping women's sports, women's basketball, women's sports as a whole um, grow. And so that's a part we can play where we can go and step in and help break down some of these walls and these barriers, for women, following right along that path that Serena has blazed for women. We can help build that. We can help carry that legacy. It doesn't have to just be women.
it doesn't.
No, no, it doesn't have to just be women.
Okay, but things like that. That's what gets this comment from like that from Renita with the respectfully. I can't speak on women, and I understand where that comes from. Honestly, I do. But
You
if
know she's right. You know, you know she's right.
really,
Yes, that's why we needed a woman's voice on it. We can't talk on this subject like we know what we were talking about. We
Okay,
needed
and
Connie
and
on.
th- and that's
Yeah.
why that's why I will continue to push for female energy on our show,
Hmm.
Yeah.
because me as a man, I don't have the end all. I don't have certain situations, and there are certain areas that, as a man, I know I cannot go into. I don't
Right,
have the makeup to go there, and
right.
where I can't, I don't.
Yeah.
But men have created this. We've created this game, this gladiator sport, and we sit back and we watch everybody tear each other apart, and we throw women in there as well too.
I love her comment. She said
Yeah.
we can listen and help change behavior, and I 100%
And
agree.
I am so wholeheartedly on that one as well too. But and that's why I will stand with when things go wrong, it is never the woman's fault. And you will continue to fight me until the day that you die. It is not a woman's fault. We set up the conditions, we set up the rules of the game. When we don't like the way the entertainment is going, we steer it in another direction.
That was low key passive aggressive.
Negative,
Oh, boom! She hit you with
negative.
that.
Them,
We
them
we have
the
we have
facts.
labeled him. we we've labeled him early on that he is definitely passive aggressive. We nickname him the Toxic Avenger because
It's Mr.
he's
Toxic
got some
Offensive now.
traits.
We
It's
graduated.
Mr. Okay, okay. He's got some traits in him that we just feel like are sort of a pathway to confrontation in relationships, which helps me segue into the next part of the show. Connie, I hope you can still hang out with us on this one because
Yeah.
this is the part where we like to talk a lot about mental health awareness and and just improving on everybody, men, women, all together. We just want to improve, but and in this part here, we want to take a little lighthearted jab at relationships, with men and women. So we found a really funny article that was called, 15 things guys do that women hate. So I'm gonna give them
Oh,
to you, okay? And when we say hate, and I want to, I want to. I read through it. Some of these things that we do, we're not doing them to to get on your nerves or to push buttons. It just might be something we need to in relationships find somewhere to compromise on. So the 15 things that guys do that women hate, okay? Hogging the TV remote, being completely unromantic and ignoring expressing love. You might put a star on that one. Zoning out and being a selective listener, put a star on that one. Not putting an effort to turn on their partners and taking sex for granted, put a star on that one. Still talking to his ex. Let's skip that. All right. uh, ogling at other women. Okay. Now no, come on,
other
grow up, dudes.
women.
All right. Making a mess and leaving stuff all over the house. Once again, grow up, man. Unwilling to compromise with activities and interests. Yeah, okay. Turning into fitness freaks. I didn't even know that was a problem. All right. Women hate inflated egos in a relationship. Let's put a star on that one. Being disgusted by women's hygiene issues. Grow up, men. Okay. Slouching on the couch for the entire weekend. I think we both would do that. All right. Let's take that off the list. Excessive burping and farting. Uh all right, whatever. Okay. Comparing her to his mother or ex. Put a star on that
Oh,
one. And number 15, obsession with gadgets and machines. All right, so I went through those kind of quickly. And then Renita says, let's add selfish, competitive, jealous, no empathy, and unloyal. Oh my gosh. All right.
damn.
Where she come
These
from? Who she
these
been
some
dealing with?
this some rough dudes out there, man.
I'm
Damn.
sorry, Renita. I apologize. Now
Yeah,
I understand.
damn. I mean, God, no. All right.
Okay.
Well, listen. Okay, I'm gonna just take that first one real quick. That first one, hogging the TV remote. I don't do it, but I tell you what, my dad did it all the time, and I hated it. Just I mean, God, I mean, I'd be sitting there watching some of that joke, just come in there, take it, turn it on the news, and I'm like, I just throw my hands up. But that's pops, so you ain't got no say, on that.
That was my
So
dad. My problem is he be in there and be like this. Oh, and you change, be like, who
that's
touched
right.
the
They got that's right. And let me tell you something.
That's
As you become older, and as a dad, you get that. You pick up that skill set where you can watch TV with your eyes closed, and you know when somebody's turned the channel, and you wake up like, "Hey, what you doing?" I have done that before. So you do
that
pick
means
up that skill
you're
set.
watching too much TV. Might have take the remote.
Oh, she watches more than I do. Trust me. All right. So number two, being completely unromantic and ignoring expressing love, the toxic avenger. My brother. This
What
this
about it?
should be this should be your. Renita says she might be a little jaded. All right, we love you though. You might be.
Right.
We love you. All right, toxic avenger. What's
We
up,
big on
man?
the romance.
Are you completely unromantic and ignoring
No, oh,
expressing love?
oh, oh, snap! No,
Okay.
you cannot be this beautiful and not be and afford to not be romantic.
Okay. Okay.
You got to be able to have some backup charm as well too. So
Oh,
I
okay.
don't just walk in a room and then they be like, "We love you, headache," and then I, excuse me, ladies. Excuse me, ladies. Get up off me, ladies. I got somebody already. That it don't go down like that now.
Okay.
It
All
goes
right.
down, but it don't go down like that.
I hear
So the
you.
brother has to have some backup skills in order to keep getting them max contract offers.
Okay. Well, I will tell you this. I will tell you this. So, we have mentioned Married at First Sight on Netflix. There are some times in that where you see the couples where the man is unromantic and having difficulty expressing love. That does happen. There is sometimes, and I would say even in a long relationship, sometimes there's a point where man will become a little distant, and maybe he's, I'm just say, ladies, give him a little break. Maybe he's going through something. Maybe that's the way he protects himself and protects you. He's dealing with some things emotional, but of course, not the toxic avenger who's the most romantic man on the planet Earth. That's from all those I'll Be Sure albums that you bought. I'm sure. So,
Bam!
Connie, now I want to get a woman's experience. Connie, do you hate that? Unromantic and ignoring expressing love, is that something you say women hate? Would you agree?
Every woman kind of expects kind of not. It's not what you. That's not his love language. Met. If
Oh yeah.
that's not laid out, you can't expect something showed to you.
Mm.
I don't
Uh-oh.
know
Uh-oh.
how you that somebody's romantic when I'm post man and y'all can tell me how many on your 10 fingers you can say is romantic, yo. Now you see that you don't know what romance means. Now
Okay. Okay.
go ahead and run some things like that. Go ahead and run a work the boys about what romance is. Go ahead and talk a little bit more.
Mm.
Why
Okay.
do I need to be? Why do I need to be romantic when I got munties? That's the way these young kids are nowadays. I got munties,
Nah, the problem is they
and it's
ain't
not
got
working like that.
money neither.
It's not working like that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, they haven't learned to be romantic. They didn't grow up on Babyface, They they
Same,
haven't learned to be romantic.
same thing we did for Valentine's Day for one of my coworkers. That does not have a Valentine's Day. We went from those traditional white roses. I mean, not the white roses, the red roses. But we dropped them white strawberries on as well too.
Yeah.
something that she would never think of getting on her, I mean, for herself, and something that young men would never, don't even know exist. I utilized it for a art project, so I wind up gifting them to her, but I did it in a romantic a way as well too. Especially not just, here you go, woman, take these flowers, I love you, and all the rest of that, where you can kind of leave them in a place where they're going to have to go past. And with her, you leave them with a little note on there, and you know she's nosy. So first thing she did was she looked to see who they were for. I mean, who they were for, and then found out they were for her.
Mm. Well, Renee's comment says goes down in the DM. That's that's funny. Midas says the word is communicate. I agree. The word is it is communicate. And
How?
what
Houseway.
Connie?
Houseway.
Okay,
How?
no,
We're not
say
going to speed past this one. How? In
okay.
in a level of communication.
And level of communication is what something Connie said. That love language. So for some people, that they you can speak to them in that love language. You know what you did for that coworker, that may resonate with her because that may be that language, that love language that she understands. We've talked about this on the show before. With some don't respond to that. Some that's they don't see that as an act of love because that is not their language. And for the man himself, a lot of times what we like to do, what both sides like to do, we like to communicate to our partner in the love language that we know, that we respond to. And sometimes it's not a fit. So that's why communication is key. Communication is key. So
Ask one of your classmates about a mason jar.
I don't know if I want to go there.
You
I'll,
want to go there. You want to go there. I got gas money to go there. But ask Milk D's what's up with that mason jar.
okay. All right, so we're gonna find out with that the mystery of the mason jar. Now let me go on to the next one. Zoning out and being a selective listener. I'm gonna say I think men and women do that. I think it really comes down to the person. Are you a good listener or are you not? And yes, I can zone out and listen selectively. Might I tell you I'm really good at it because I can not listen and still answer her questions, and she hasn't quite developed that skill yet. I can tell when she's not listening, but but she can't. It's hard for her to catch me because I'll come back with a real good, a real good fill in to get the rest of the story that I might have missed or have her repeat it in a slick way so that I can, then answer it. So yeah, I'll admit I zone out sometimes, and I am a selective listener. So I'll
Is that
work on.
by is that by choice, or that you have so much going on, or you're really not trying to hear what it is that she has to say? You don't want to entertain it. Um, you don't have an answer at that moment. You're thinking about
Well,
some shoes.
I mean, like a typical man, I will admit sometimes I need her to get to the point. I don't need the details. I don't need, I don't need to know what color the sky was. I just need to know who said what and what did you do about it. That's what I want to know. I'm working on it. I'm working on it, man.
Now the reason I'm laughing because my mentor, he said he make his girl tell him the end of the story first,
Oh,
and
I
then you can go
yes,
back. Then you
yes.
go back and tell me what happened.
I'm all for that. Start at the end and then let me piece it back together. So it's funny that you said that because because I'm a selective listener. So when she gets to the end, this is something I do. I hear the end. I say, "Oh, okay. So you told her never to do that again. Really? All right. So what? You know. So what? So tell me how you said it when you walked into the room. Oh yeah, yeah. I walked up to what? So before you walked into the room, were you out there like she might have been at work? Were you out there in the hallway getting hyped up by your partner? Go, yeah, let me tell you what she said. So she's actually running the story back for me by the way I questioned her. Bam. Okay, that's it. Now I'm in
So
trouble.
much.
She's watching.
Uh, everything. You know how I explain a story, and it's always all over the place. So why you
Yes.
always asking me questions now? It makes talk to you now.
Renita says she's gonna set the scene, what I was wearing, how fast, how long it was going. Yes, and
It's a
that
story.
is yes. And so the thing that we were talking about is men zone out, and we're selective listeners. We need to work on that. We need to meet in the middle. I'll take some details, but allow me to push you through to you know the next engagement. Like like sometimes like might have laughs about um there's something. I'm tell you what. Okay, so when back in the day, hold on, I'm gonna tell you, back in the day when we used to go to Blockbuster and rent movies, right? And we've all done this. You get a movie,
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You
you get a
quick to do
movie.
that. Don't do
Hold
that.
on,
Don't do that. We all do that. Don't
I'm
do that.
saying you got a movie that's got to go back. You didn't watch it, and you got to take it back, and you're not paying no late fees. So she still laughs about this to this day. I said, "Give me that movie." She's like, "We got to take it back." I threw that movie in the VCR. I skipped through all the credits. I skipped through all the transition scenes. When they were talking, I just filled in the words for her. I said, "Okay, this is what they're doing here. Okay, yep, okay, now he got mad. He done caught his wife. Okay, he mad. I'm gonna fast forward. We watched that movie in 45 minutes, and we knew we knew what happened. We could talk about it. Took it back to Blockbuster. Did so. That's how we want you to talk to us. That's how. Just just go to the highlights. Go to the highlights.
I can imagine being with Renita. Hey, do you know what happened to me today?
Dragging it out. Yeah.
You That's so rude.
Uh-huh. A word. For
but
real?
the nuances are so important. You are right. You are right. You are right. It does give flavor to the relationship. I feel like you just need to find a compromise, and to make it work. Find a compromise. Okay. So all right. Look, we gotta get through the rest of this list now. So all right. Not putting in effort to turn on their partners and taking sex for granted. Now, remember, this is something men do that women hate. Taking sex for granted. Um, and I think, Headache, I think you froze. Go ahead, reset if you need to, or jump back in. Come out and jump back in. There you go. But yeah, taking sex for granted. Now that let me tell you. Now, all jokes aside, that can be something really damaging in a relationship.
To whom? To whom?
Oh man, come on! It's damaging to both sides.
To whom?
Both both
How?
partners,
How, Sway?
because back to the love languages. Okay, she her experience, with intimacy is or what she wants may be different from your experience with intimacy and what you want. You need to understand what each other want, their languages, and so it's not about you, Toxic Avenger. It's about her, and it's not about her, Miss Toxic Avenger. It's about him. Go ahead, Cardi.
I think you've said it right there. It's not about, again, taken for granted. It's taken for granted. It is. Okay.
Right.
It could be sex. It could be anything. Just
Absolutely.
be
Yeah.
mindful. The whole part in that relationship and why it's expected on both fronts.
Be mindful
Absolutely.
of what?
Absolutely. She was right. And be mindful of, see,
Of
intimacy.
what?
Hold on. Stop getting upset, man.
Oh,
Intimacy is a lot of different forms. It's not
Like
just
yeah.
what?
per
You
se the
talking,
sex
but you ain't
act.
saying nothing.
Expecting sex, right?
Intimacy, we're talking about intimacy altogether, and taking it for granted. So So back to our earlier conversation where we were saying like sometimes women are conditioned to tear down other women based on, hey, I got to compete. I think men also sometimes are conditioned to treat sex as um just an act that they are to receive something out of and not really about what their partner wants. Renita says women want intimacy, sweet talk, foreplay before the bedroom. That's a love language. That's something about that act that she's expecting. So the partner has to deliver on that. And you can't take so when you hear a woman say taking it for granted, you're not doing those things.
You're
For
not
the man,
here.
for the
I
man, it may be
feel like
different.
you're not here. You're not present in the moment.
Gone.
Man, you just digging a bigger hole, man. I'm trying to keep dirt out, from coming out of there. I'm trying to push it back in, but you just keep digging the hole. And I can't make it to ground, man.
Nah, bro.
Killing.
A chick hit me with that one time with the, you don't seem like you're here. I'm like, where else would I be? I'm right here. No, that's not what I mean. I'm like, man, I'm about to get my clothes. I'm
You
about to
better
go
say
home,
something to her.
bro.
You better say something to her next time she
Exactly.
say that. Well,
She's
you better
she's
go
trying
buy
to
something
tell
while
you
you in the bed.
something.
You're not here. I
She's
don't
trying to
feel like you're
communicate.
present.
She's
You're
trying to
so
Okay,
you
so
a
you know
communicate.
your
million
place.
miles away.
And he ain't gonna get past that. He's just done. He's done. All right, number five. Number five, still talking to the ex. This could cause a lot of
That
problems.
is,
Oh
that
boy.
is, that
It could
is,
cause a lot of
that
problems in the
is.
relationship. Okay. So now, still talking to the ex, what
Yep.
type of relationship does he have with, what I'm saying? You get all kind of questions with that. Do they have kids together or not?
Nope.
Do they
Nope.
have any, okay, do they have any
Sure don't.
do they have a common close friend together that some,
Nope.
like, is
It's
there an
just me
event
and
happening
her.
that cause, okay, all right, so you just reaching out to the ex? Why?
Cause we friends. She
No,
one of my boys.
Why you
no,
friends?
no, yeah, come on. They ain't no one of
Be-
my boys.
because the way I was raised, mom's always told me it is best to be friends first. Then you can decide on if you really like this person or if you are there for your own selfish reasons. You get a better understanding of the person, and then you will get to know if you are for them because they may be for you, but you may be a toxic avenger and you may not be for them.
So you can
So
stop right there.
if we are friends before we get together, while we are together to be able to strengthen our communication skills, why can we not be friends afterwards?
See,
Just because
Renita
we get done.
already.
And the only reason why women, including you, Renita,
She
the only
already.
reason why women don't want men to be friends with their exes, because they swear up and down they're gonna try to go back and do the hucklebuck with them.
Well, wait, man. You talking
No,
about men?
no,
You talking about women, but men would feel the same way. I
no, they
mean,
don't.
come on now.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. We scared. What we are afraid of is not that they're gonna go back and go do the hucklebuck with them. We scared they're gonna take the whole thing. That's what that is. That's what we scared of. We scared they're gonna come and get our woman, and then we're gonna be left with nothing.
Mm. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 no. I
Mm-hmm.
I think the fear in men and women are the same. If you as a person,
Go ahead, Connie. Go ahead, Connie.
yeah, go ahead.
Take it
I've
away from
heard that.
Almond Brown, Connie.
I've heard it both ways. I've heard men, and I've heard how men feel about the situation. It's the whole thing. Okay, so I've heard it. I think either one of
Yeah.
you is wrong in the situation, but what I situation is right at home, no time and or space for that wholeheartedly. Because if you've
Right.
chosen the right one, whole void, that whole area where that ex, if you are taking advice from that relationship, You the fool for that one.
Use a fool. You
Negative,
right.
negative,
Use a
because
fool.
the only way you know that she is my ex and not just one of my boys is when I tell you I dated Shorty from Memphis. When I
So
dated
I would
Shorty from Texas. That's the only
first
way
off,
you would know that we had a relationship.
That
if
ain't true.
you're
Yeah,
That
it
ain't
being
is.
true.
honest
Yeah,
and
it is.
she asked you and you're being honest, one first
We can
off.
stop right there
Yeah,
now. We can
if she
stop there.
asks you,
We can stop there. We can get off. We
that's the
can hop off this
problem.
train right now.
Dude.
Cause no, I'm not gonna be honest. I'm
Man.
gonna lie, and I'm
Ah.
gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna lie.
Connie,
Cause,
you
cause
know.
you're gonna be the flipping problem. I'm
Connie, you
coming to you and
know.
say,
Y'all got doggone superpowers. Y'all know. I could
"Sh-
pass her in Walmart and just be like, hey, it might have be
no,
like,
you
hey.
can't. Shimmy can, Shimmy can,
might be like, hey, how you know her?
Jimmy can, and maybe Dawn. But Renita would never know.
I
Renita would never know.
Ronnie had a good comment though. If you were that close, she wouldn't be your ex.
Ronnie doesn't have a good response. Ronnie is being typical. Because some people make better friends than they do lovers. And
Dawn
Ronnie,
can too.
I'm quite sure you can vouch for that you are a better friend to some of your exes than you were when y'all was doing the huckabuck, bro. Don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, hold on. Now you going in a different direction. Now, when you say there's people I've broken up with where I'm better friends than we were in a relationship, yeah, I could absolutely say that's true.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I don't have to continue to reach out and talk to them. I'm not looking for anything from them. Like Connie was saying, you don't have the time or the space, or you don't even have a void to fill if the relationship is strong, where you're looking to still communicate with the ex. Go ahead, Connie.
and I can understand that in boats here, right? Okay, I've had a sister come and lay my floor. Okay, you mean this with that person? I'm not saying nothing like that, but I'm conversation with an ex. You happy birthday, cool. You want to go ahead,
Right, right,
blue moon, because hey, y'all was cool like that, fine. But
right,
our wife, whoever you're with, that's disrespectful.
right. No, I agree.
Close
I
you
agree.
are
I
with,
think, like you
you're trying
mentioned,
to build that bond.
yeah,
Hmm.
when you're with somebody that you were cool with, there are certain just things like, if their mother passes or something tragic happens, there's respect out of that one time relationship. Reach out and say, hey, I'm sorry about what happened or whatnot,
No,
or something, you
no,
hear about that. That's
no,
We're not talking
no,
about that.
no.
Okay. We're talking about, hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm cool. What you been up to?
No,
Where
I'm not
what's
talking
your
about that. I'm talking about the genuine aspect of being boys. Like how you and I are boys. And if I got a question for
no.
you, if I got a question for you, and I pick up the phone and I ring the phone and I say, look here, bro. And then we go ahead and we start talking. They get the same treatment.
Mm,
They get the same exact treatment of when I have a female question, I can pick up the phone and say, look here, bro. You've been a woman longer than I have. I have a question and take it from there.
See, that's why
Or
we call you the Toxic Avenger. You're just
or
not gonna get it.
even to the point of one of my exes called, I need some help getting dressed for a date. Let's go. I'm
No,
there for you. If we are boys, I can do that. I can do that. I can send you out on a date. I could send you out on a date with whomever, however, pat you on the rump and tell you have a great time. Make sure, and the last thing I told her was, make sure you got money to get home. Because if this dude try you and he press you for sex and you don't want to give it up, pick up the phone and get on the bus.
Once again, you trying to save the world. I don't get it.
No. No, if we are boys, if you are my boy and I view you as one of my boys, I got you. Regardless, I got you. Go ahead, please, 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 please save Renita. Please be the voice for Renita. Please, Connie.
like I said, that's rude. First off, a second, somebody else to call.
Do who?
Your
No,
friend, she didn't have nobody else to call.
no,
No
no,
Chris,
no,
nobody.
no,
Because
no.
honestly,
And even if she
nobody.
didn't have anybody else to call, she wanted to call me because she knew she was gonna get this honesty. She was gonna get a man's perspective, not an ex-boyfriend's perspective. And we have been friends for so long. We can't even tell you when we dated.
Now, how often do you call this friend?
Hell
Times in a
yeah.
day? How many times in a week? Since you need me to break it down to you, okay? How
No
many
times in
communicate
a
with
week.
this human?
No times in a week.
Huh?
I call her periodically. About like how many times I call you, Chris? How many
Chris, how many
times I
times
do?
you
How
talk to
many
me?
times do I call you? And we have been boys since the '80s. How many times
Hold
do I
on.
Uh,
call you?
okay, I can
Great
answer
question.
that because
Derek's listening.
yeah, no, we can get on a run. We can get on a run where we might talk, couple times in a month, and then we may not talk for 6 or 7 months. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just depends on what's going on. That's I mean,
So
honestly, that's
headache.
how we do it.
So the same ointment I apply to your skin, why don't I apply the same ointment to theirs? And it's not about how often we talk, it's what we talk about. No, it is not right for me to call and say, hey, you got your stuff, your stocking stuff for Christmas. What was the quality on the stocking and the stuffing of the stocking? That's not for me to do. That's not
Oh
that ain't
man.
me. Because I don't do you like that, so I'm not gonna do them like that. There's certain
Now,
areas I know not to go into.
real quick, I want to say I sent you a link to see if you can join in because we don't actually have a number to call in, but if you can get in and if you want to, be in live and you can, leave your camera on or off, doesn't matter. But
Wait,
definitely gonna let you take some shots at him if we can
what?
get you in.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, please. And I don't know if you want to do this with her on air or with off. But that last comment that she made, this same comment that she keeps repetitively making, this that typical stuff that I talk about. Renita, I
But she's
don't
got a
give a
point though.
flip. I don't give a flip who she is friends with. It is not my job to pick your nose, pick your rump, or pick your friends. Whomever it is that you want to be friends with, be that. If
Okay.
you have a change of heart and you want to go over there and go do the hookabuck with them, do that. The door's open to say, bro, you are entirely too toxic. This ain't working for me.
But you need to know that. You need to know that's the outline for the relationship. I mean, I understand what you're saying. She and your partner can feel the same way about you. If you want to continue to talk to the ex, okay, well then here is what my decision is going to be about this relationship. You
Oh,
know what I mean? You can't expect them to accept it if that's not what
Man, bye.
they don't have to
Get the hell
accept it.
out of here.
Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, you know what? You know what? This joke just he gone. He gone, man.
Bye.
He
Go
gone.
ahead. Because this is in the first week's conversation, it always comes up with, are you friends with your exes? And you know my
dang! The first
thing,
week.
you know my thing, you know my thing with the answer of lie or the
In the
truth.
first week, does it come up in the first week?
Of course. Because I'm gonna bring
Well,
it up.
you looking to
Because
pull out the
because
guns in the
it
first week,
is important. It is important because some people they can't handle it. And I understand that. And if you can't handle it, I don't want to start things out on a lie and say, I hate all my exes. I want to kill each and every one of them bees, even though I don't want to do that. I love my exes. I love them to death. Anything that they need of me or from me, I got you. Especially with dealing with somebody like me,
right?
especially. You have earned that.
And we've talked about this before. We're gonna move on to six, but I've told you before. I think sometimes you get this mindset where you're trying to save the world, and it's
No.
not, and you
Why
don't
can't I
need to
just be
do that.
honest?
No, I just expect that. That's all I'm saying. You're being honest with your friends, and I respect it. The first weeks, you're not okay. I'm just saying, okay. Situation, I respect it. Okay, make sure it's known. Conversation though, not a first week conversation, and then
Right.
y'all might
You running
need to
down
be
the
meeting
X's in
some of those
first
other
week.
friends.
God, no.
Well,
You need to know that. You need to know what comes with
look,
this.
that
Just like with this, it's the same thing with the. Do you have children? That comes
yep.
up in the first week. Yes, I got 3 kids from 4 baby daddies, and this, that, and the third. Then we could get into the conversation of how is your relationship with them. So I'll know which one of these Glocks I need to be safe with. Do I need to pull out the 10 millimeter, or do I need to go ahead and pull out the 9?
Woo boy. All right. Yeah, all right, man. Okay. So we gonna get off of still talking to the ex. We're going to number 6, ogling, ogling at other women. Okay. So men do this. We've seen funny memes about it. Woman walks by, okay, and ogling means, I'm gonna assume, undressing her with your eyes up and down, run up and down a few times. Okay. Um, Here is the tough part about that. Okay. First of all, let me just put out a disclaimer. Mida says I'm really good at not doing that, or not getting caught doing it. Okay. Let's just put that out. Second is when that one that's just busting out everywhere walks by, how are you supposed to act like you don't see that? She sees it. I mean, what you supposed to do?
I don't think that's the same situation when you're looking at the same person. That don't count. Okay, everybody's looking at everybody. He's like, I'm not even doing it.
Oh
I want
man.
I want to hear all of this from you, staticky, dropping out mic and everything. I want to hear it all.
But look, no, we waiting on Mister. I just want to be honest. How are you handling that? Because you got to know. You got to know. Because I know this because you've expressed it on your side when you're not a number one draft pick. Okay, so when that Sir Mix-a-Lot body walks by, okay, and you see it, okay, and we want to be you with your girl. You want to be respectful, but you see it, okay.
I don't want to be nothing. I don't want to be respectful.
You gonna act like you didn't see it?
What I look like wanting to be respectful?
Don says we don't care about the ugly; it's the drooling and the panting.
I am respectful.
Okay, okay,
So yes, I see it. I see it from two different aspects. I see it as a man. I see it as a photographer / artist. So of course I'm going to notice that big old wagon that's dragging the ground. Of course I'm going to see it. But I don't need to be standing there talking about some.
He said thirsty.
Oh man.
What I look like doing that? I don't need to do that. You see it, and then keep going. You only get 1 second of how, and then let it go. That's it. So have
Okay.
I been with the old lady and that wagon and came through there? Has she not looked at me first? And when I know she looking at me, I will look at her.
You know
And
what
that's the
hey,
confirmation of, yeah, I saw all of that. So
yeah.
now what you looking at me, looking at her, looking at you for? Why are you doing that?
I just tell Mida, look, you see it. I mean, hey, you see it. Don't act like sometimes Mida be like, well, damn,
Exactly. The equivalent. When she can holler, well, damn, and you
yeah.
cannot. The only thing you could say is, hmm,
No, 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 no. We've gotten to the point. We both to be like, well, damn, we both be looking at, damn, you saw that, yeah, okay. But I get the drooling and the panting we don't want. But let me tell you now, again, if I always like to look at it, be critical, be a critical thinker, look at it from both sides.
That's
If
rude.
your lady saw Vin Diesel walk by or LL with his shirt off come through and she drooling and panting, how you gonna feel about it?
That, do it. I
Shamar Moore.
holla. Dang.
Yeah,
I
look,
want her to do that.
might have
I
talked about I'm
want her.
looking.
I would beg her to please,
Hmm.
please do that.
Hmm.
And the reason why,
Might have talked about she looking. Okay, all right, all right.
you
Shoot.
can you can have him, but he's only gonna be there for the hit. That's it. That's it. So go on out
Oh
there.
yeah,
Go on there, little Pippi. Go on and
oh
go
yeah.
run after him.
I tear them down all the time. But Connie, what's your thoughts on that now? Come on.
I looking, okay, and I don't want no more than that. Been there, done
What?
that.
What? Are you for real? You, miss? No, no, it's not
See, this
like
was
that.
this is why we should have skipped over this one. I don't let me tell you. Just skip over.
Looking is
Look,
looking.
both sides look. I would rather you admit that you looked rather than pretending like you didn't. Now, what I learned from listening to guys talk and so I learned women do it in a slick way. Hey, babe, look at that shirt he's got on. I want to buy you a shirt like that. I wonder where he got it from. I should
I
ask
wish
him.
she would. I wish she would. Cause I know the game. I
Yes.
know the game.
I'm
Just
like,
go ahead and sit there and tell me what you're looking at. Don't do that to me.
exactly. You know good and hell well I ain't gonna wear no tight t-shirt like that. I
Don't put
don't
the
want nothing
nipple
like
print
that.
on there.
Well, right,
No,
right.
we're not
Come
doing
on.
that. We're not doing
With
no extra sexy shirts. We don't
right,
do that. And
with
you know
mesh
this.
with mesh vents on the side so you can see. "No, I ain't wearing that. You know it. So come on. So yeah, I mean, come on now. Now, Connie, you're laughing, but I'm just saying it goes. It we that's a battle on both sides. I know this is a list of things men do that women hate, but come on, it's a battle on both sides. Y'all got your way of doing it. We got our way of doing it.
Women do it. Y'all hate it when women be looking at other.
Yes,
No,
yes.
no, no. Look,
So
drool, fall down on the ground. Do it all, baby. Get it all in. Cause I don't want that mess to follow you home when we get to the house. I don't want it there. So be in the moment, take it all in, absorb it, do it for
Derek
what
want
it's
me,
worth.
right? Derek want me to bring up a lot of bodybuilders out there, and everybody's decked.
And then Shimmy talking about
Okay.
what kind of material is this? Is this a medium? Let
Yes.
me see, let me see if this would fit on my
Let
husband. Is
right.
this velvet? Talking about I
It's
wonder
more.
what size it is.
Midas comment is more
I
women
might have got it
naked
right.
than great looking straight men. Okay, all
That's
right.
for damn
We,
sure.
we, well, okay, okay. Listen. Let's just we're gonna agree that we know women hate it. It's on the list. All right. We're gonna what we can't do is act like it wasn't there. So let's just both agree. When you're there, look, we see it and we're gonna move on. We see it like Dawn said. It's the panting and the whistling and the tongue wagging. We don't want that. Okay. So you got like uh, toxic. I'm gonna tell you. You got to be careful when you see her walking towards you, and you can see it. You can see the back poking out
From
on
the
the
front.
side.
From the front. Yep. Yep.
Go, go the other way. Cause,
Negative. We go.
'cause
Why your booty ain't that big? Why your booty don't look like that?
don't try to loop around another aisle and come back up talking about you forgot something. When you with your lady, don't do it. You're in trouble because she gonna follow you anyway. And don't
No.
let her catch you on that aisle. Don't let her catch you on that aisle, boy. You done. All right. So, all right, man. Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, making a mess and leaving stuff all over the house. Okay, I just call that just grow up. That's maturity. Let's just be mature about things. Take take the same interest into keeping the house clean as your partner. Both sides. Not all women are tidy. Let's just say that. And I'm not talking about shimmy before I get hit with something. All right. Not all women are tidy. So, Connie, go ahead. Go ahead. Is that something that really bothers you?
Yeah. If I come home, look, I go out the house, I clean the house before I go home. I'm like, nah, time I get home. So when I ask for anything, be that hogs that been home all day, as I want right now, and don't say nothing else. And that's how I roll. That's how irritated I am.
And you're not OCD with it. There we go. Got her. Got her with a
Uh-oh.
mouth
Uh-oh.
open.
Uh-oh.
Not,
With a
I'm
mouth
not
open.
OCD with it. No.
Cut her with a mouth open.
You
She
see,
must have.
Derek? No.
I see
How
Derek's
honest am
comment.
I
I
gonna
see
be
Derek's
with this
comment.
one?
Okay. You see, not in alphabetical order. No, nothing like that. Okay? Everything has a place
Um,
for a purpose. You have a countertop. Is the countertop supposed? No, there ain't nothing supposed. Everything has its place. That's all. Okay, that cleans
Okay. Okay.
your floor, right? And all you have to do floor, and that stupid thing will clean the floor. What do?
Almond.
Stuff off the floor.
Almond. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
No, no. Listen.
Why this cap got moved over 2 millimeters? Almond, come here. Who moved? Who moved the cap? I put the cap 2 millimeters over here, but your thing at the crib, them flipping waffles, or them cookies, or the
No,
cereal.
no. I think we're both equally. We're sort of the same. I try to be respectful of I get it. You don't want things messy. You don't want things lying around, and it sort of irritates me too, especially if it's an area that I'm in a lot. So working from home, I like to keep my area clean. And yeah, and so I get it. I get it. Plus, when you just both of you are involved in keeping the living area, the house clean, is you're both invested in it, and it just shows the importance of I like I want you to be comfortable in the environment, so here let me do my part. It just does. I mean, just even if you don't like cleaning up, just do it. Just
Mhm.
do it.
That controller. I'm bad about the
You
controller. Not being where the controller
hold.
goes.
Hey, I'm about that. I was about the back of the remote. There's a wall. Put the remote on the wall.
I mean, now you're going a little too far. Come on
It's
now.
constantly falling behind something to do that stuff on purpose. Come on, you know my child. I'm like, I want to see him on here with headache, and I want to talk when it comes to the cleanliness of the house and things of health as well. Okay, the
You're right.
cleaner the house is, when you have a clean, safe space to come to, you pay. So if the intent is for everybody to go get it as, how am I going to grow and raise the world? Okay, because if they keep their house, they're doing out there in the world.
Right.
Okay, so how I be looking at my children and how they keep the place, sharing them as best as I can for them going out in the world.
Come on,
Good point.
Connie. Come on,
Good point.
Connie.
Well,
I mean, come on, Renita. Renita, please. Please. I beg of thee. I beg. Please get Renita in here.
look, Renita, because that it did that to me on my phone. Once it opened up just fine, and then we
Okay.
had
Scared of
scratch. Give me the
you?
mic, okay?
Nobody
So
scared of Renita.
But
Come
good.
on in here.
I do want to
Come
add. It
get
was a good
this.
point. It was a good point Connie made about the cleanliness of the living area, the house, and all. It is part of building mental health and just improving your personal health because you do have a different feeling when you come home and the place is organized and things are. It just there's just a relief when you walk in the door and things aren't messy because in your mind when you come in you see clutter, you see mess, it compounds on probably the day you might have had outside of the house and you're missing some of that piece. It does work. That is a true thing about making your bed and then coming back home at the end of the day and your bed is made. There's a sense of peace and completeness that you have when you see that. So I just want to add that to it before we move on.
And it shows commitment as well too.
Right, right. Okay. All right. So number 8, unwilling to compromise with activities and interests. Um, saying that's something that men hate. I really don't. I really disagree with that. I think that can go in either way in a relationship. If you have a hobby or an interest that I like that you like and they're not interested in, vice versa. That goes both ways. So I don't think that's just a man thing. Connie, yeah, any comments on
Lone Ranger, they don't want to do anything. I anyway, and
it?
I'm gonna brag about what I bought when I was gone. I'm tired of begging people to go with me places. Okay,
Uh, I don't know now.
hey,
Maybe I thought I was doing pretty good, but I've heard Mida say that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need to rethink what I'm doing here.
you
So
already know. Derek don't like to be in a lot of pace and don't want to act right. He get his like, no, I can't take you out there. People think that you don't get your butt. No, I don't want to take you out in public. I'm gonna go by myself. Ride with me? No, I'm gonna play the game. Okay, cool. Then when I go to this little fresh market, don't care. Don't bother him. Make sure he have pizza, and he don't care. He don't want to go nowhere. Cool. I have to understand that. Okay, we got to do this for this long, and Derek turns 50. Where we gonna throw him? Did I see him at a few other parties and him sitting in a? Okay, cool. We're not throwing a party.
yeah, no, you mean
Real talk. So we bought him a bike. Okay, cool. He got a new motorcycle.
yeah, cool, cool.
We ain't
Yeah,
throwing no party. It,
okay. Good
it
trade
don't
off.
it don't bother. He was just jealous because I got my bike last year.
Good trade off. Now, headache. I know you do a lot of different hobbies and interests, on the side. Do you feel like your partner, your spouse, should take part in that as well as you take interest in their hobbies, activities.
Oh Lord, he blanked.
Did he freeze up? Oh man, we need to get him
I think
back in here.
he
There he
froze.
is. Can't hear you. There you go. Your mic
Go
picked up.
here anytime. I will do anything. So I do not have that problem. I do not suffer from that one. When the old lady wanted to go horseback riding, even though horseback riding is not my thing, we went horseback riding. When she wanted to go canoeing, I told her, if you get my shoes wet, I'm gonna turn into a little girl out here. Don't get my flipping shoes wet. We in the canoe. Dude is telling us, make sure you paddle this way. The boat starts drifting. I told her stop paddling. I got us. She want to start paddling, and the thing started spinning. So it started spinning out of control. Next thing you know, it started doing that. My flipping shoes got wet, bro.
But it is the experience though. Like even when they had a hobby that you may not necessarily be interested in, um, see if you just share the experience with them. Sometimes that when we've talked about that in some other episodes. That's a way to build a bond, build communication, just build history with each other, especially in a new relationship. That is something healthy. And so if you're constantly shooting down, you know, the other person's activity or hobby, I think you're robbing yourself of an opportunity to build, build a bond with them. I like Mida's really into doing Halloween decorations right now. I'm not, okay, but when she needs to go to the store to pick up some crafts or do like that, I'll ride along with her, even though in my mind I don't want to go, but because she takes me. I'm just saying, like I really got frustrated with her. We went to go get some paint for the hobby, and I'm like, all right, let's go in Walmart, let's get this paint. I want to be involved. And we go to get the paint, and she needs semi-gloss black paint. I'm man. I go in there, I find the semi-gloss black paint on the shelf. Grab it, I hand it to her. I said, all right, let's go. Yeah, are you laughing because you know what happened?
It's never that simple. It
And
is
you
never that
know what
easy.
happened. And I
Yes,
almost
sir.
lost it. I just walked. I just went. I just ain't nothing in Walmart for me, but I just went and walked around because I'm like, and then the lesson for that day was make a decision. Please, for the love of God, make a decision. Okay. But you gotta those things you have to kind of deal with and put aside in order to experience their hobby. Go ahead, Connie.
Your headache right there, both of y'all. Like, one, I'm trying to figure out why you did for that trip. I'm like, that's a grown up action. You could, again, I'm the grown up on this side. Grown man child to the store with me when I know I gotta see you have that fit in the store. I'm like, why don't y'all stay home? I'm fine. I don't want to see you whining. Stay
Right.
home. Do it for the betterment
But they might
of your relationship.
they might want to experience it with you just to be there with you, you
I'll
know?
pick a
Sir,
different opportunity.
sir, ma'am, I get all of that from both of you peoples. I get all of that. But I'm giving you this warning. Don't flip with my shoes. I would rather walk around with wet underwear than wet shoes. Don't flip with my shoes.
I I
So
feel
you
you.
Okay.
already know what you're gonna get. So we didn't pout and we didn't do all of that. It's just
Did you make her feel bad about your shoes getting wet?
no.
Did you make her
We
feel
didn't have to do that
guilty?
because she already knew. Now go
Okay.
ahead and take this wet bologna sandwich and don't say nothing.
Okay. All right.
Put this wet bologna sandwich in your mouth and don't say nothing.
That's fair.
You
That's
know how I
fair.
feel about them shoes. I
All
love
right.
my shoes more than I love you. I can't get these shoes back again. I can't replace these shoes, but I can always get another you. Don't flip with my shoes.
I think
That's
going
how
in,
you do it,
she
Dawn.
understood that. Yeah. I think going in, she understood that. So, all right. So number nine, Connie, you may be able to really touch on this one.
Oh,
It says
Lord.
turning into fitness freaks. I didn't know that women. I mean, I don't know who made this list up, but is that something that they get upset about?
I,
I guess it could happen if they become a fitness freak and the partner doesn't. I mean, what happens? I know you and Derek did it together, so
Derek's
you
somewhat
may not have the
different.
experience. Oh, hey, don't you
So
do it? Don't you throw my boy under the bus now?
I
Talk about somewhat.
could throw him under the
No.
bed. He wasn't willing to give up his cheese. Okay, he needed to give it up. Okay, so and I was stepping on stage. So
Right.
where he
Yeah,
would
that's right.
go ahead and make what he's on that meal, there's a problem. No way in hell he's making it on the stairs. Okay,
Right.
so fair is fair. Him, okay, you got to do 60 minutes of cardio. Okay.
Yeah.
My problem,
Okay.
you know, I did, and if I'm giving you commentary on how to training over my calves or whatever else, then take the information problem. But I do hear it a lot where and there are two things to this. And one, are barely wearing any clothing up in the gym. Um, or
Oh
you got the
man.
guy who's away from the house to be away from the responsibility of it anyway, wholeheartedly. You know,
Right.
about the gym. It's where are you in? So real talk, there.
Okay. I get okay. Well, headache. But before you respond, I know you ready. I would say, I think it might be difficult when one chooses to do it, the other doesn't. And it does make it tough. Like you and Derek did it together somewhat. Although you were getting ready for competition, he wasn't. It made it easier that you at least were involved or in the gym together or designing workout plans and diets together. He in
Yeah.
at some point he was involved in it. And that made it a little bit easier for it. So go ahead, headache.
What's the difference between going to the gym to lift weights and going to the gym to shoot ball? If you're spending all your time in the gym shooting ball, from your perspective, because that way it will make it relatable, more relatable for
Yeah.
you.
But different goals. I mean, you may be going there for that activity, and then your partner's going there to work out. But I mean, it's an event that y'all do together. You still do it together, I would say.
No, but if you're going to the gym all the time,
Oh, okay,
does it not pose a problem? Have the potential to pose a problem with
It,
you're always being in the gym.
well,
Why
yeah.
you always gotta go to the gym? Why you always up in there? Who is she? Why her booty out?
Yeah, okay. I
That's
mean,
that's that was the only thing is I was making it relatable. Since Connie does the big Dawn thing, she does the cock diesel thing, and then you don't. So that's why I was tying the two together with from our perspective of going to shoot ball all the time and how being in the gym could pose a problem versus going there to work out, being a workout freak, and the other one person is not. A
I,
gym rat. That's all
right,
it is, being a
mhm,
gym rat, and the other person is not a gym rat.
mhm.
right.
I had problems with that too, though, wholeheartedly and things like that, and just being there at the was one. I had a family. There are lots of people who things that they don't have families, or they'll leave half the year to train to stay cortisol and all that kind of stuff, the stress rates
Wow.
and things like that. And so for me, this, and so for me, it's important for if they're not here with me, what am I doing? Go ahead and eat right so you can live longer and you can live a my purpose. What's my point? So unless you're there, why should I do it? I'm gonna
Hmm.
die and I'm gonna die and ain't nobody working on being longer and have a better, healthier life. That at it when we went to look at it, family trauma that had happened. Okay, cool. It's time to gym again. But if y'all ain't gonna try to change your eating habits to lower the amount of sugar, to have a more balance regularly, then what's the point? You don't petition. It's just changing your lifestyle as a
Right.
you know. And so that's the way that how it's hard is when that person is still doing anything. There's
Yeah.
animosity on both fronts. The person that's
Right.
at the gym, and then the person that's at that same language on that part.
Hmm.
And I that health scare, and then he's at the gym all the time, and so it's always tossed back to her who have a health scare, but I did, you know,
Yeah.
something, you know.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's like this team.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. It sounds like it's a support system that's in place where everybody's on board and everybody's headed in the same direction.
Yeah.
Good point.
Mhm.
All right. I wanted to continue down the list, and I wanted to get to one. I'm going to skip a few, but I wanted to get to one that is for me is really interesting, and I know that I've talked to friends where it's come up in relationships. So comparing her, this is a list of things that men do that women hate. Comparing to her to his mother or his ex. Now, absolutely getting compared to the ex, I can see some problems with that. But getting compared to his mother, ladies, I'm just gonna say, depending on his relationship, that is going to happen. That is going to happen, and it's almost unfair to say you hate it because his idea of a woman is shaped by his relationship with his mother. So it's stop hating on that. That's tough.
Connie, is that
Tough.
true? Connie, is that true? Is
And
that an option, Connie?
look, Derek never compared. He also never compared me to an ex. I would have thought about that first, but y'all already kind of know me. Now, me and his mother are both here. We got each other's back, through couldn't ask for a better mother-in-law, and that's how we
Mhm.
built. So the only thing that's built is Derek a whole lot on the phone. Derek, how much
Hmm.
is an appropriate amount of time to call him? He would be on the phone with his mom or just getting done over at the house with his mom, and I'm like, dude, don't check.
Right. Yeah.
So that
Okay.
was the situation. That's the talk we had where you got to talk about the ex. I had the crazy mama's boy over here, you know?
Right. 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 Well, I understand that Don's comment. Well, idiot man does that out loud. I mean, you're right, but out loud, you're right. You got to be careful. But it happens. It's going on in the head. Um, you
Really?
know, it goes on in the head. It does.
Really?
It does. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Because we are. I mean, all we can do is reference our experiences. So I think more so, maybe not as much with exes, but you definitely pull some experiences from your mother,
Get off the train,
and
sir.
you
Get
pull.
off the train.
I'm just
Get off the
telling you. I'm telling you.
Get off the train.
Real talk,
Please jump off the train.
head of your mother.
Do what now?
I got to know how your relationship is with your mother.
We're
You don't got
boys
to
Hey,
when
get
I'm
yourself
hold
acting
on.
right.
Hang
okay.
on just a second.
Okay.
Hang on just a second. Hang on just a second.
Mhm.
We have a surprise guest who has joined us tonight.
Come on, baby. Come on, get in here. Get your rump in here.
Coming to the stage
Oh,
is Renita. Renita, can you hear us okay? Let's do a quick mic check. We can't hear
see
you.
what I'm saying? Can't hear you.
All
Can't
right.
hear you. Just like I thought.
Let her get some things worked out. Now, I'm sure she's gonna want to go back on a couple of comments, but go ahead. Now that she's in the room, we'll get her mic set up
Oh,
for
I'm back.
her. She'll
Yeah.
get her mic going. But I want you to now go ahead and tackle Connie's question about
Get
the
off the, get
relationship
off the boat.
with your mother. Now,
Get
come
off
on,
the boat.
come on, go ahead. Let's
Right
talk about that
now,
relationship.
right now, because of my work schedule and because of the conflicts that I have going on in my life, honestly, I have strained my relationship with my moms. I have gone off the grid, and normally it is not like that. She is my biggest champion. Um, where I have placed us, she does not deserve that. I am actively working on that now. But there are some things that I have to get together in my life in order for us to get back to where we are normally. But normally, I will call her with a gazillion crazy questions. She will call me and ask me things. We just talk, we chop it up. I love my mother to death, but like I said, me personally, right now, there are things that I am going through personally that is straining our relationship. It has nothing to do with her. It is
Okay,
all the kid.
that's fair. That's fair. I'm glad you were vulnerable with that. I'm shocked. I know how close you guys are.
And,
So,
and, that's, and that's the thing that's bothering her is she will periodically, she will call or she will text me and she will ask, are we good? She is good from my perspective. I am not good from her perspective. And it is nothing that she has done. It is all me. And there's a transition that I'm looking to make in my life that has to happen in order for us to be great.
okay. But so let me ask you this. Um, then Connie, I'll let you get your comment in. But I want to ask you this. So, do you not, when you've dated or you've been in
No,
relationship with somebody,
no,
have you not pulled
no,
experiences from your relationship with your mother
no,
into that
no,
relationship? And at
no,
some point in your
no,
mind, at least in your mind, you thought
no,
my
no,
mom would have done it like
no,
this.
No,
Okay,
no,
go ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
no.
I think and that's the thing that I worry about with the pacing. I'm his MVP, right? That she has to make sure at least reach a certain level of communication with your mom before you can. You have set a standard for your relationship with your mother on which woman can be.
Yes. Yes.
That you can't
I'm
just
sorry
have
to interrupt.
anybody. No, go for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
can
Go
you
ahead.
guys hear
Oh,
me?
great. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for joining, Renita. Thank
Okay.
you.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I'm gonna give you a quick chance
No,
to
she's good.
just yeah, go ahead, give you a quick chance to jump in and respond to some of the comments. I know you've been screaming about it, so I'm gonna give you an
Well,
opportunity to do that. So go ahead.
thank you for allowing me. Really appreciate it.
Skip on
I
it.
enjoy
Skip on it. Skip on
listening
it.
to the show.
Skip on it.
Listen,
Hold on.
listen.
Let her.
No,
Yes.
no.
Come
Skip
on.
all
No,
of
no,
that.
no,
Skip
no,
all of the humbleness.
no.
We
Go ahead.
understand that she
No,
appreciates it. Let's go
I
ahead and
didn't.
get to the end of the story. Let's get to the
Let
end of the story,
no
and
let
then we can start walking down the mountain.
we owe
Oh
her
my
an opportunity to do a full introduction. Go ahead, Renita.
Go ahead, Renita.
God.
I'll
Okay.
be
So
back.
let's just say I was not video ready, so I just stuck
That's
up the
okay.
avatar.
Well,
But
that's awesome. Thank you.
anyway, if I have the pleasure, I will. But no. So I don't know. What do you guys want to know about me? Um,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
What do you want me to? What do
well
you want to know? Is my or? I mean, I
you
don't.
know you go right
I'm
ahead.
sharing.
You just share a little bit of your background, your experience. So what we like to do is so some of the things that come out in the
Okay.
conversation, I know are going to be based on your experiences. How you grew up, or where what you did as a career. Just some of those things shape your thinking. So give us a little bit of background on where who you are, what where you come from, and that kind of helps us understand when you have comments that you mentioned you're a little jaded. Maybe we can understand a little bit so from your background. So go ahead, you just share with us what you'd like. She's still there? You still there?
I think we lost her.
I
Oh,
think we
okay.
lost her.
All right. Well, we'll wait till get her mic back up. See, you were interrupting her, and she was really going into getting ready to lay into you, and then you interrupted her. But
Let's
go
go ahead and
ahead.
get to the end of the story, and then slow walk it down the mountain. We just had this conversation, bro. We just had this.
Okay, but I think Connie, I want Connie to finish her thought because I did ask you if you bring any of your experiences with your mother, your relationship with your mother into that relationship, and then do maybe consciously or subconsciously do compare that person to your mother. So Connie, you were mentioning talking about you and Payson. Go ahead.
Here's what I said. So, like the woman that she ain't gonna be nothing. He holds me to the highest standard. Racks with and everything. And so headache is if you have any relationship that's any close to that, that this woman, before she even comes fuller scale, before she can even get to that first day conversation, you've already checked out where her mind to see if she can even be on that same level as you.
Hmm.
And, and that's based off of your so
Right, right, right. Go ahead, headache. I see you. Right. Yeah.
That one I wholeheartedly agree with. There
mhm.
there are a certain amount of boxes that you need to check off. I wouldn't even say to meet my moms, but for me to even consider you to have a conversation with my sister. My mom's is tough. My sister's a flipping juggernaut. So the only person that has my heart right now, my sister.
Okay.
So if you want the heart out of my chest, you better be prepared to go see her. But with moms has a certain set of questions that she's gonna ask. She's gonna want to know about your character. She's gonna know about your background. And then she's gonna start asking those girl questions that women ask one another, but not too personal. But she asks it in a respectful way. So once
Okay.
you make it to moms, you pretty much green lighted. You just don't need to drop the ball at the 1 yard line. You,
Got it.
you,
Yeah.
you in there.
Okay. Renita, check your mic. See if we can hear you.
Okay, can you all
There you go.
hear me?
Awesome.
Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know what happened. Well,
That's okay. All right.
um,
Okay. So the floor is yours. Go ahead.
okay, so just a little bit about me. I'm originally I used to work as a news anchor reporter for about 15 years. Communications is my background. Um, I've worked in nuclear communications. So I have a very diverse background, and I enjoy talking about a variety of things. So I'm excited to
Thank
be
you.
here.
Yeah, we really appreciate all your comments and everything. So I know we've kind of gone through a lot of things and you've chimed in with some comments. So, we're kind of going through this list of that we pulled up of 15 things that men do that women hate. And we've gone through a few of them. Right now we're on one, and it's fine if you want to go back and bring up one that he mentioned earlier that you and Headache got into earlier. But right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
we're talking about one that particularly says that women hate that when men compare their partner to their mother or their ex. I get it on the portion, but I will say this: I think we need a little bit of grace when you bring up the mother because that is who forms our idea of a woman and our communication skills with women. It comes from that. So it's tough for us to not look at you and say, mom wouldn't do this, or mom. I mean, sometimes I say little passive aggressive stuff to Mida, like, well, my mama taught me how
Mhm.
to. I say it in a joking way. I don't, I do it, but I know not to really, really dig in and do that because it's like, like we're saying, comparing her to your mother, and that's not something that we think is healthy. But go ahead. Any one of the things on the list or any topic that you had headache that you want to revisit, go ahead and bring it up.
On this one really quickly, I think it lends itself to a level of maturity. I think a man should be comparing his wife.
Oh, did we lose her?
Again.
Oh man, and she was really going at her. She threw out the word maturity, and the reflection really when we're doing that, um, a level of maturity for us when we are comparing that that our partner to our mother, we can flip that. Sometimes that obviously a woman's idea of a relationship with a man comes from the communication and relationship that she had with her father. So I think maybe it happens on both sides, you know. So anyway, Connie, any added points on that?
Uh, wholeheartedly, I don't know. If I see it so much with women comparing uh, more from men
Hmm.
comparing they're raising their daughters and things like that. Grown women relationship with their man to their father, whole
Right.
common basis.
Okay.
Got
I
it.
don't say that again.
Go ahead. No, go
Okay.
ahead. Finish. Go ahead and finish your thought. Go ahead.
Come on, headache.
Now I was saying,
Well,
can
we
they,
got
because there's so many absentee fathers, how do you compare? Hey, how do you get to compare your pops? Compare me to your pops when
well.
I'm better than your pops. I'm
Hold that.
still
Hold that.
here dealing with
Hold
your
that.
crap,
Hold
and
that.
he
We got
left you.
Renita back. So I wanted Renita to finish that point you were making about maturity. That was, I think you were really going to hit on something with that. Can you hear us? Okay.
I can hear you. I don't know. Sorry about that. I'm,
No, it's okay. It's all
but anyway,
tech
yeah. I was just gonna
technology. That's all. You know,
say,
it's quirky. Yep.
I was just gonna say it comes down to a level of maturity on both parts. I think it can certainly lead to problems and issues in a relationship if you're constantly comparing someone else. Like it's kind of childish. Like
Yeah. Yeah. No, you absolutely right. It is. It is childish. It is childish. It's sometimes used as a weapon. Okay. Some toxic people, who in
Go there,
relationships.
Almond. Do that. Do your
I'm
thing, Almond.
sometimes it can be used as a weapon. I'm just saying, comparing them to the ex, comparing them to the mother, it can be used as a weapon. Dawn's comment, but if wifey treats hubby like she's his mother, he has a problem with it. Yeah, damn right. Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
can make
If wifey treats hubby
it
like she's his
headache is
mother, she's
behind this
right.
trash.
Yeah.
Headache is
Yeah.
making this doing something on his end, like to shut
Ah.
down
I'm
every.
trying to spend these $14.
You trying to shut her voice down?
Negative, bro. I want to spend
Okay,
these
I'm gonna go
$14.
real quick.
Yeah. Go
Okay, I'm
ahead,
gonna go real
Renita.
quick. Back to you were talking earlier about talking to your ex. I
Yes.
don't get need to talk to your ex. Like there is no need. Why would you create discord in your relationship? Others your partner.
Mm,
Like
Create.
damn.
and
Create.
is your partner? You say, partner, come on, get me up. We can. I'll put her on speakerphone and we can all chat together. Seriously, like, would you do that?
Yeah. I mean,
Do you
go
want to
ahead.
earn these
Go ahead,
$14
headache.
the easy or the hard
Nothing to
way?
hide, right? You guys could do a group call.
Do you want to earn these $14 the easy or the hard way? Because I'm gonna spend this $14. Do you want to earn these $14 the easy or the hard way? I have nothing to hide. It could be on speakerphone. It doesn't matter. I keep telling y'all I don't care. I am comfortable with the kid. I know me better than anybody on the face of this earth. So whatever happens, it's gonna happen. Alan Watts, let it happen. There are certain things that you cannot prevent from happening. Some things you cause more damage by getting in the way and stopping them. I'm not here to stop you from doing whatever it is that you want to do. As I tell people, even if you want to pick up the phone and say, I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and hang the phone up, we're that good. So if she want to talk to her ex, I don't care. That's your friend. You know him. You've dealt with him. Now, where the issue comes into play is if you're trying to juggle the both of us and you're not honest with him and you're not honest with me either. Because I can't stop you from being with whomever it is that you want to be with. And I would be an idiot to try to get into the fight and beg you and plead you, please don't talk to him. I'm afraid. I'm a little boy inside and I'm scared you're going to leave me. That's not about to happen. So if you want to be friends with your exes, that's cool. My thing is I am honest up front and letting you know. So when something happens and my phone rings and you see such and such name comes across the phone, don't give me any crap behind it. She don't want me. Most definitely she don't want me. I don't want her either. The only thing I want from her is what we have built a solid foundation on, and
Well,
we are
hold on a
friends.
second.
We are
How
friends.
how can you say that? You saying she doesn't want you. You don't know what her intentions are. You don't know what her intentions are.
No, that's coming from your perspective from the outside looking in.
No,
From my
no, you
reality on the
don't know
inside
what her
looking out,
intentions are. You're
if we have such a solid relationship, you can say whatever it is that you need to say. So
but
when
like
we
Renita
started this, wait a
said,
minute, wait
you're
a minute, wait a
leaving the
minute, wait a
door
minute, wait a minute,
open.
wait
Go
a minute,
ahead.
wait a minute. When we first started this with the last one, she was honest and said, I don't want to be your friend. Okay, you have that option. But that's not going to stop me from being your friend. It was a battle to get her together to where we could be friends. But it had to start first with me being her friend and being the essence of the word friend. Not, I'm gonna keep you close. So in case this don't work out with the old girl, I still got your resume on file. I'm not doing that.
Headache. But headache. You just
And
said
she could lie
you know
and she could pretend.
Let, hold on.
you, right?
Let Renita
But
make her
no.
point. Go ahead,
So
Renita. Did we lose her?
Yes, which is
Ah,
why I did that.
you trying
Which
to
is the
shut her
very reason
down?
why I did that,
I
because
think
I'm sabotaging. I'm Tom Bradying her.
you tried to shut her down. But
I'm doing the
I
Tom
want to
Brady
make
thing.
up. I want to go back to a point that she made when she first mentioned it. Is that she said you're opening the door for that discord that the for that to happen in the relationship. Um, you're just opening the door for something bad to go wrong. I mean, something bad to happen.
back. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm gonna go real quick so I won't fall it drop. But
Okay.
so better than anybody. You can't say that about your ex. You don't necessarily know. And why is she on the phone with you? Where's her man? I mean, it just doesn't questions I need to have her. And I don't see how you're going to be in a relationship doing something like unless you're looking for like a poly something going. I mean,
No, no.
I don't know. Like that
And look,
that work.
that's not the first time we've mentioned that lifestyle with you.
And,
Okay.
and you're not gonna stop
He
it
wants a
either. You're
poly,
gonna continue.
a polyamorous.
No. What the kid wants is total and complete honesty. Am I capable of lying? Yes, I am. Do I like doing it? No, I don't. But I want to be honest to say, these are my friends. This is who I come with. These are the people that help me to shape me to be the person you fell in love with.
Mhm.
These girls help me to become a better person. So why am I going
Hey,
to
I
why am I gonna crap on that?
I get what you're saying. Connie, did you have a comment?
yeah, I had a friend who was kind of like you that she dated somebody that was kind of believe that you're being much more forthright in situations. Um, claims that there was no relationships or bond, but he would choose her friends in many situations, and he knew the plate when it come to certain situations with Okay. I did not approve of that part and stuff like that. Okay.
Hmm.
Something that you in these situations has to just don't believe that there has been a woman that has reached the level and needed. Because I believe that when it's enough on, on that level where you're talking that you might talk to them once every blue moon, building so much more with this one. That's what I believe is what's going on. Okay.
There's a there's a
Situation for my friend.
there's a level of respect that I have for their relationships as well. I don't butt into their situations. If they have a situation that they honestly want to discuss with me, I am open. They have been an open source for me as well. And they have been, because they have dated me, they'll come back and say, bro, you dead wrong on this one. You forgot I know you. I've took these punches she's taking now, so she's right. And there have been times when I have needed that, not from somebody that knows me, but somebody that knows me on a different level to keep me honest and keep me in the game. And you can tell me, yeah,
Yeah,
bro,
that
this, that, and the third, but then it gets to a certain level where she has a different access to me to where what she says holds a little bit more validity.
Okay, go ahead,
So
Renita.
I'm cool with it, and it's just like with us as men. We have this thing against our woman's exes that have done nothing to us. But I'm to the point now to where I am so cool with me. If you want to come through the house and play PlayStation, slide on through, bro. Come on through. I'm cool with you. You have not done anything to me. What didn't work between you and her, that is outside of my scope. I don't have nothing to do with that. Now, if you still want her and she still wants you, y'all work that out. But that don't have nothing to do with me. That's between y'all two. So if you want to come through the house and get the brakes beat off of you in this live, you come on to the house. We cool. And I don't understand why we as men we cannot do that. Why we get so petty to the point of it gets down to whom it is we used to sleep with. Because that's all it basically boils down to is I had her first. I was sleeping with her, and now I'm mad at you because you sleeping with her, but you didn't do what you had to do to keep sleeping with her. And my relationship with her is not built off of sleeping with her. It's something completely and totally different that you did not perform. Go ahead, Connie, please.
That that's somewhat part of the but somebody else. That's what she said, like what Don. So you've built that intimacy with these friends, and that's where this problem's gonna person because your intimacy level with them and we just trying to we you know in this new relationship battle you we don't want to beat you up. We just say in real relationship. Remember that's that intimacy with them on that part. And if you're going to want to grow with this person, this for back, okay, that can go with other friends, okay. They this she should officially be able to encompass all of that about all of the situations that you have with them enough so that you guys can go ahead and build that intimacy, okay. That's what for you when it's right,
Okay,
okay.
and that I do get, and I do understand Dawn's perspective as well. Dawn, currently where I am right now with someone, they've known it the whole entire 17 years. Has she been a fan of it? No. Has she liked it? No. Has she hated every moment of it? Yes.
Then why
But
be there for 17 years?
I don't
What
pick
is
your
that?
I don't pick your
He had
friends. That's what I'm saying. We've been friends way longer than we have dated. With one of them, we dated for a year and some change. That was 18 years ago. So if I'm
Yeah.
holding on to the idea of still being in love with you after 18 years, when I had my shot and had it again and had it a third time and didn't take it, it ain't on my ex. That's on me.
Oh man.
Well,
Well,
you know what?
Renita's back on. Thank you, Rena. I'm gonna let
Uh,
Renita get the last comment in on this topic here. I'm gonna just tell you what I think from just the discussion we've all had. I think you may have you don't have a problem with honesty, but you may have a little bit of a problem with intimacy. But go ahead, Renita. I want you to get the last word on this comment before we
Okay.
move on. Mhm.
Hey, first of all, I think when you're talking to an ex and you're in a relationship emotionally with that person, you're building those emotional attachments.
Mhm.
Secondly, gosh, what was my second point? Okay, so you're building the emotional attachment to that person. Oh well, I think your ego, you gotta work on the ego or
Ooh.
kill the ego. I think what I can have what I want when I want, do what I want when I want without to the other person's feelings. So when I talk about the ego, it's about statistical, but it's about that part of you that you need to develop. I mean, I'm not trying. I mean, it really is. We all have an ego.
Yes,
You,
yes, yes.
you need to kill that ego headache. Where you go?
And it's funny. It's funny because number 10 on the list, which we didn't really get into, was women hate inflated egos in men. So it's just funny that you mentioned that.
Mhm.
Please
But
let her go on so we don't
go ahead.
lose her anymore. Please do not interrupt her. Let her have the floor.
Okay.
No, I do. I think again back to page and the the male ego in general, and of course also human
There
nature.
it is. There it is right there. There
Hmm.
it is.
Yeah, I
There it is.
think you got
There it
the whole
is.
game, twisted headache. I think I do believe like that's something I wouldn't tolerate. Different people have different
Right.
tolerance levels, but you talking, I couldn't with that's on the phone with their ex unless they have children or they've got
Go out there
Children.
with the
some other
Right.
wolves then.
issue.
Go out there with the wolves then. Go out there with the
Huh?
wolves. The wolves, they waiting on you. So what doesn't work with
No,
me, I'm cool with that. If
right?
my situation does not work for
Yeah,
you, take these
you're not
$14, hit the
self
block.
actualized.
The
You got to
wolves
be
waiting
self
on you.
actualized. Yeah. Well,
Dawn
we
Dawn
can
said you
agree to
lost headache
disagree.
at right. Dawn said you lost headache at the word at the phrase in general.
This woman know.
He checked
That's why
out.
I love it.
He
That's why this
checked
man.
out after that. So
That's why her husband, he picked the right flipping one. Cause he knew. He knew how to flip and pick them. Just like with Derek. Derek knew how to pick. Look at this one that Derek picked.
Why
She
why
speaks
are you
well
saying
look,
for
he has
him. She,
a
this woman
headache?
is a trophy for Derek.
Why is he
This
saying he
woman
has?
is
look.
a flipping trophy.
Just calm down. All right, come on, come on. Just bring the level down. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Uh,
Where did the headache go? I can't
so,
see him. Did he walk
but
away?
but but I do want to look. I want to say this. So we're closing. We're coming to the
Hold
close.
on. Let
I
her
want to.
finish.
Uh,
Give her the mic.
okay, hold on. Renita, did you have anything else to add?
No, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, and I think she
No,
was.
she
I think
gotta
she
have
was.
some more.
I think
No,
he
no. I
spoke.
think
Please.
she was.
I beg you. You wanted to get on here so badly. You
She
got
did a
to have
great
more.
job. Thank you.
You
And I
got to
think she
have
was.
some more.
I think she was spot on. Okay. So what so at this point we close out the show, and if you guys have watched it, so at the end we like to do a little round robin to kind of let people know what what something interesting you may be doing this week. The real goal of the show again is to create dialogue and have people be okay with sharing their feelings and being vulnerable, and we
Down in the
always really
valley where the
promote
girls get
mental
naked.
health awareness, and make sure people talk things out. And we're not the professionals, so we always say this. If you guys if anything on here spurred you to reach out, please reach out to professional. Use your resources in your community to seek professional help. So with that, all right, Connie, I would like to know just something interesting. But what are you watching? What are some of the hobbies that you are doing this week? Share that with us as we close out. Go ahead.
Headache, what's up with you, man? I mean,
I'm saving my piece. I'm saving my piece of you for the absolute very end.
so this week, instantly on the horizon, we just broke over here, okay? Because we planted to gotta know if you showing up to that or not, okay? So I can say
Oh, wait, that's in April?
yes.
Yes. Okay, okay, that's
Mm.
right. Oh, Dakota, hey, what's up? Yes. I did. You know what? Me and Mighty, when I get off here, me and Mighty gonna talk about it because you're right. That we need to come out there for that. You're right. So go ahead.
Hey, headache, I'm out to you, okay? Come on out. But yeah, we for oh man, my head hurts. I'm tired. I'm trying to make sure that taken care of, and it seems like I gotta plan the whole thing. Everybody can go ahead and fill in the blanks of everything. I'm
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're
tired.
looking forward to that.
Things I'm
Congratulations.
watching.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry about the.
Yes.
She ain't gonna let me keep her headphones. These are Dakota's headphones now. She's been texting me the whole time.
All right. No problem. No problem.
I'll be
Well,
ready
thank you.
next time. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Renita, if hopefully if headache hasn't shut your mic off and does something to your mic, tell us something cool, interesting you're going to be doing this week. Any books you're reading? That what was that book you had mentioned last week? Was it 40 Laws of Power?
48, 48 laws
48 laws.
of power.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
yes,
rereading
yes.
48
Uh,
laws of
that
power.
one.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's an
Yes, I
excellent
read a
one.
little summary of that, and I'm going to dig into that book. That is, I'm glad you brought that up. But go ahead.
It's on audiobook as well too on YouTube. In case if you don't have time to physically read it, you can have it playing in your head, sir.
Awesome. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well, go ahead and share something with us, Renita.
I'm listening to a podcast on artificial intelligence. Following a few people who are kind of just on the really, I think it comes to AI and kind of what the future
Hmm.
like in AI. And in October to Iceland. So I want to go see the aurora. I'm planning to be there for about 14 days.
Cool.
And I work full time. That's what I'll be doing up until the time I leave. And just checking out those podcasts, reading the 48 Laws of Power. And there are a couple more titles that escape me right now, but I can share them if I'm allowed back on. I'm
Oh,
not sure. So
absolutely.
that's
Yes. Yeah.
so
Please,
headache
Absolutely.
Mike. But
Yes.
come and get these $14 anytime you want
thank you for
to.
letting me on.
Well, thank you for joining. I really, really respect and appreciate your input and your comments from week to week, but also just your contribution to the show today. Love it, love it. Thank you, and Connie, thank you too for doing this for us. Really appreciate it. I always let headache go last, so I'm gonna just tell you what I'm up to this week. Been watching the Game of Thrones sequel or prequel that's out now, so we're 2 episodes in on that. I'm a big sci-fi fan, sci-fi fantasy fan. So I love that series. And so episode 2 came out this past week, which is really kind of building the story of the Targaryens, who of course is the blonde lady that rode the dragons. That her family. So first episode is a little slow. This one we picked up, so I've been watching that. I am still looking for another show to watch. We watched a lot of P Valley. Now that's gone. Waiting for something to come out. And that's why I kind of got into watching Married at First Sight on Netflix with Mida. And then okay, that thing, we gonna talk about that on maybe next week. But that is really that's funny. It's really funny. And I'm
Why?
finishing up reading The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, We talked about that last week about how we have been conditioned with societal rules, cultural rules that sort of put us in a box. And when we are able to kind of break those down and question those rules, we actually can become stronger people, more confident. We can be like Serena and break into something that we weren't supposed to be in and be good at it. It's kind of it kind of helps you build a guide for really finding your true self and really what you're good at. So I'm going to continue reading that for this week. So Headache, I'm going to turn it over to you, man, and let you close it out with what you're up to this week, and we're going to say goodbye to all the viewers tonight. But go ahead.
Max Penny phones, the white gents, they drop tomorrow. That is the only thing on the face of this earth that I am living for. So please don't take me to my glory and all my egotistical maniacalness before I pick up my white pennies tomorrow. I had a couple of books come in. I need to decide on which ones that I'm picking up. Think Like a Warrior. The Inner Beliefs That Make You Unstoppable. That's one of them that just came in.
Oh, okay.
I got a couple more that came in as well too. So I have to pick something to read. I need to get back on Alan Watts to get my mind sharp. The Danger Mouse and Black Thought album I will be taking for a spin around the block all of next week. Um, since you all have browbeat me to death with this Married at First Sight, we about to take that one for a spin as well too.
Check it out.
And that's pretty much it.
Cool. Well, that is going to bring us to the close of another episode of Shelf Space. Thank you again, Connie and Renita, for being a part of it. Just really enjoyed your input and helping us grow and get better. We so far it's just been a bunch of men, mansplaining to each other. So it was good to have. It was good to have, some some female input on this. We're trying to be more open minded, and again, we like to really encourage people to have open, honest, vulnerable conversations with each other. Understand, why they do the things they do. Understand that you're not alone. The pandemic really isolated a lot of folks, but you're not alone. Use your local resources. I'm gonna say, good night. Almond Brown's gonna jump back in his spaceship and take off, and head back to his planet. So, Headache, you go ahead and close us out.
Um, as our lovely friend Mr. Armin Brown said that you most definitely are not alone. The only one on the face of this earth that is alone, apparently, is me. And the worst thing about that is I'm so cool with that. And I thank you all. I was hoping that this was going to be the portion where Renita said, I so humbly thank y'all for allowing me to be a part of y'all's little
Oh
chit
man.
thing y'all got going on over there. That was where we were supposed to do this. So since she didn't do it, for myself, Headache Stub Mitchell, and the lovely, incomparable Renita, we thank you all for this opportunity that you all have allowed us to infiltrate your life, your thought process, and we hope, all four of us collectively, we hope that we brought something different to the table. We hope that we brought something that you all could think about and to share with others. And I do humbly thank you all from the very bottom of my dark skinned, bald headed heart. Thank you for allowing me to be myself here on this platform. In closing, be good. If you can't be good, be yourself. If you can't be yourself, be honest. Shoot paper, people. Dawn, get your internet ready, sweetheart, cause you in line too. Get your internet ready.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Good night.